And we got a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
LoveLine is meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew.
I'm not modeling anymore for the two of you.
LoveLine.
Yeah. Mic on. Am I on? Oh, this mic? All right.
Hello? Yeah. What's wrong with this mic here, Anderson? Oh, boy. Well, we're really off to a start tonight. Let's see. Let me fix something here. Hey, I'm Adam Carolla. Dr. Bruce is allegedly filling in for Dr. Drew tonight, although Dr. Bruce is not here just yet. Dr. Bruce, the same Dr. Bruce who told me last night, get here 15 minutes early so we can hang out and talk about model airplanes, guitars, and cars, is not here when the show started. Although I'm sure he's listening somewhere, hopefully in hell. And or more appropriately on the 10 freeway, and he should haul his squirrely, big Adam-appled ass in here any moment now. Now, this leaves me in an interesting position because it's just me, no doctor, and a rabbi. I never thought this would happen. But now I'm going to see if I can pronounce the rabbi's name correctly. Shmuley, right? First name.
You got that right.
And Boteach.
Boteach, yeah.
Rabbi...
it means he who dispenses wise sexual advice.
And phlegm. Boteach. He is the author of Kosher Sex and Dating Secrets of the 10 Commandments. It's in its sixth printing, although they just printed 10, 10, 10, 10, and
That's right.
10.
They did.
So it's only 60 books that have been printed. But
exactly, and all of which have been bought by family members.
I'm sure bought. You gave them to him. Well, wait a minute.
What do you mean? We had to pay him off.
Now, Rabbi, I think Drew got hold of this book. He has quite a thirst for knowledge, that Dr. Drew, and I'm sorry that he's not here tonight to be with you, and I'm actually sorry that there's no doctor here tonight to be with me, but I'm actually more sorry that my goddamn microphone is not working, and it's on. It's working now? All right, I'll get back to my mic. Hello? Hey, now I sound like myself. But Dr. Drew read the book, or at least read it as much as he reads a book, which is flipping through it, and seemed to be impressed by it. So let's talk about it. And let's talk about how this is going to affect most of our Goyim 16-year-old stone listeners.
Right.
As we don't have a large Hasidic following.
So no one here who's listening tonight has sex through a sheet with a hole in the middle. Is that what you're telling me?
Right. Or does any... Yeah. Before we get in the book, though, I want to... being a rabbi, see, I love the Jewish religion. I'm an atheist. But if I was going to come back as something, I'd come back as a Jew. Because
so you want to get a discount on everything you buy. Is that
no, I'm not going to make no jokes about the noses or the hair on the women's lips or the wide haunches or the cheapness or the wholesale.
Or the Jewish husbands having to foreplay consisting of a half hour begging on their knees beforehand and stuff like that.
None of those jokes
None of those stereotype jokes.
I like the Jewish religion for this reason. Very family oriented. I knew a few Jews growing up. I had mostly Goyim friends, but I had a few friends up in the hills, Jeff Buck, Nate Wittenberg, George Gelden, guys like that. Families stayed together. Kids went to college. Hair was a little nappy, but other than that, everything worked out for these guys. And it was a strong family. And that's what I appreciate about the Jewish religion. And they like to eat. Strong family.
They sound like Italians.
Yeah, except for Italians. I look at Italians. I'm Italian.
Except that Italians aren't scared of Jews. That's what it comes down to.
I look at Italians as stupid Jews. With differently shaped noses, but still big noses. That's basically what I look at Italians
Wouldn't you rather have a name Tony than Yankel, you know?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's Moisha is not as sexy as Anthony.
Exactly.
But I do appreciate the Jewish religion, and like I said, if I was going to come back, it would be as a Jew. But before we get into the book, I'm fascinated because my step-grandfather was Jewish, and he used to tell me, and he's from the old old country. He was from Hungary, and he would tell me about all these bizarre rituals. I mean, all the, shave your face with a wooden stick because you're not supposed to put metal on your face and all this great stuff. Give me some good zingers. Give me like the top 5 bizarre Jewish rituals that nobody follows today.
Well, before the Jewish Day of Atonement, we sort of like twirl a chicken around our head. How about that?
Really?
Does that count as a zinger?
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's the Day of Atonement, and well, really, it symbolizes in biblical times, of course, and even later in temple times, until the Romans destroyed the temple in the year 70 of the Common Era. There was a sacrificial service which was meant to atone for man's sins. I mean, it symbolized the fact that we had to sacrifice for God, that we had to do things that represent. I think we have our Dr. Bruce here. Huh?
Speaking of God, here comes the born-again Bruce rolling in 5 minutes late. God bless him.
With his thermos, you're really planning to stay awake during this broadcast, I see. They've got coffee there. And
that coffee's for me. All right, now put your headphones on. You can apologize to me later and start doing your job.
There's some other stuff which we count as a zinger, but it actually works. For example, I mean, sexually speaking, married Jewish couples have a period of 12 days of sexual separation in marriage, which is meant to induce this erotic obstacle. In other words, instant accessibility and availability is often the bane of eroticism. It's what snuffs out. So a lot of people feel that's bizarre, but it really restores passion.
No, I'm familiar with that. It's
not mixing milk and meat.
Oh yeah, that's I like milking. Mixing the dairy with the meat's a good one. Using the different sets of plates for it. It really sounds like a very involved religion.
It is. And well, the culinary stuff is pretty involved.
Yeah, see, to me, way too complicated. I couldn't figure it all out. What foods to mix, when to eat, when not to eat.
And once a week on the Sabbath, we become like the Amish. We don't use any technology or electricity. I mean, we withdraw from trying to exercise our mastery over creation. We become one with the universe. So we sort of like meditate on
admonition to have, sex 4 times on the Sabbath or something like in the Old Testament
per hour.
Jesus Christ! I'll tell you.
Why do you think these Jewish husbands lose all their hair so early?
One thing I do like about the Jews is they took the Sabbath on Saturday, which is smart for a couple of reasons. A, you don't work on Saturday when a lot of bosses want you to work. And then they don't want you to work on Sunday, but you got it off anyway because they don't want you to work. And B, you only miss college football on Saturday, but you don't miss any of the pro games.
Well,
you're over at Temple, right?
The programs are now on Saturdays as well.
No, that's rough.
It's anti-Semitic. Well, they did it purposely to screw the Jews.
NFL hates the Jews.
Exactly.
They're jealous of all the Jews breaking into the league.
I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, so we had.
Oh, so you have all the similarities, yeah. You get all the Jewish practices without the persecution.
But both you guys.
My father's side of the family is Jewish, so I share in the persecution too.
Bruce, you're a fairly religious guy, right? And of course, Rabbi is, and I'm an atheist, and you're both intelligent guys. When you really sit down and think about it, it's really all nonsense, isn't it? I mean, it's got a rich tradition. No one's going anywhere, though. I mean, really, no one's going anywhere.
Well,
I mean, as a Jew, where are you going? You die, they bury you that afternoon, they cover up some mirrors, and everyone comes over and eats. Where do you go after that?
I remember in Oxford once, one of the students came to me and said, am I going to go to hell when I die? And I said, well, we Jews don't believe in hell. We just have heaven, which is really cool. So he said to me, how's that going to help me when I get there? Am I going to tell them that my rabbi didn't believe in you? So there is that argument, but you look at him. What happens if you get somewhere and it's not just the abyss? What happens?
Now, listen.
You're going to the abyss, huh?
Let me explain religion to both of you. Somebody saw somebody die millions of years ago, decided they must go somewhere else because I'm going to die one day too, and I don't want to go sit in the dirt. So they went somewhere better. Everyone bought into it because everyone who's on this planet knows they're going to die eventually, so you might as well buy into this nonsense. And it's one big pipe dream. I mean, give me a break. Nothing's going to happen. You die, that's it. You're gone. The good news is you don't know it. It's like before you were born. That's the beauty of it.
Well,
now,
let me throw the argument right back at you, okay? Okay, there's no God, right? No soul and no afterlife. Well,
No.
then there's no love, right? Because love is also an illusion. Love is an illusion created by our genes to ensure that we all propagate the species. We have sex at night so that we have the widest possible distribution of our gene pool, but love is only an illusion. I mean, the same reductionist philosophy that says that religion's an illusion would say that romance, poetry, all that stuff, anything other than the hard sciences is also an illusion because it's not verifiable. No one has ever found love in a laboratory, correct?
Right, but listen, poetry and songs and literature, that's all an extension of an inbred human capacity to want to procreate, want to be intimate.
But it's an illusion.
And want to be with somebody.
So in the same way that we had to invent religion to deal with death, we had to invent love to try to justify our sex drive, correct?
I'll go along with that. I absolutely will.
Now, is your girlfriend, are you married?
No.
Is your girlfriend listening to this?
No, I hope not. She doesn't speak English. She's Taiwanese. I keep her tied up in the basement. And I only let her listen to AM radio.
Sounds like pretty unkosher sex. That's pretty good.
All right, listen, we got to take some calls. And I know I've done no job at all of plugging the book so far, but we'll get a call, and then we'll get to plugging as the night wears on. David?
Hey.
You're 17.
Yep. Long-time listener, second-time caller, actually.
Great. What's up?
Every time I go down on my girlfriend, there's this foul odor down there, and I don't know how I'm supposed to approach her about it, or if there's anything I can do, or what.
Yeah, so she could have an infection or something, David.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't want to, like, hurt her feelings, you know, because that'd be pretty mean if I walk up and say, hey, you stink.
You're one of those romantics, Dave, huh?
How often does she have a pelvic exam, which is routine health maintenance? You could express a concern about her having her pap smear once or twice a year, and when that pelvic exam is done, generally in sexually active young people, they'll check for chlamydia, gonorrhea. Then there's giardia. There's certain organisms that do create a fishy odor, which may be what you're referring to, that are easily treated.
Yeah.
So you may deal with it by encouraging her to have that done as a health maintenance thing. You may want to go with her and talk to the physician with her. That's fairly normal for a significant other.
Hey, David, no, listen, no 17-year-old's going into the gynecologist.
He sounds
office.
very mature.
I'm 35. I don't even know what a gynecologist does. I'm not going in the office.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go in there if they had Sam Adams on tap in the waiting room.
We're also not using you for the reference.
All right, my point is David's not going anywhere. Is she gone to the gynecologist before?
I would hope so.
You don't know?
You don't know.
Yeah.
David, listen to me. This is the angle on this one. I dispense this advice all the time. It's very solid. You go down there. You tell her this. You were listening to LoveLine. Somebody phoned in. They spoke about a girlfriend that had a little odor down there. Dr. Drew or Dr. Bruce or whatever quack was sitting to my left said this could be the sign of infection. You then noticed something on her and were worried about her. Drew seemed concerned about the caller and told her that she should go and see the gynecologist because he was worried about a potential infection. Because you love her so much, she should go to the gynecologist and look out for this potential infection.
Idea.
Oh, shut up.
Well, let me throw something in here as well. You know, if you look at the 19th century French erotic literature, they never mention a woman's looks. They mention her casserole, which is the scent of a woman.
Really?
Yeah, the scent of a woman. And there's that famous letter from Napoleon to Josephine.
They had the tuna casserole over here. But, yeah.
Almost as good. So Napoleon wrote to Josephine when he won the Battle of Marengo, that big battle in the Italian campaign, I'll be home in 3 days, don't bathe.
Right.
Now, when we hear this stuff today, we say, ugh, right? But once upon a time, men actually appreciated the scent of a woman. Now, I'm not going to go into foul odors and stuff like that. But the point is that sometimes something which we think is foul is actually very feminine. And men today, I think, are sensually deprived. In other words, sex is beautiful because it's a celebration of the senses. And we have these 5 sticky points, you know, the nose, the ears, the sense of touch. Men today are entirely visual. And they actually are turned off by the sound of a woman, by the scent of a woman.
It's interesting. Yeah, because you know what? It makes them real. And men don't like that. We just want fake boobs and lip gloss. And
we also want to be addicts.
On.
Exactly. And we want to be able to just look at the looks of a woman, get that instant buzz, that instant thrill, that instant high. But that does not make for a solid relationship.
But
we're too visually oriented.
How about the pheromones? And we've identified a pheromone receptor in the area
Absolutely.
of the nose. So sense of smell or
All right, but listen, after a long day out swinging a hammer, I've smelt myself down there, and it ain't pretty. And that's one day. That
not
ain't 3
talking
days
about
like
you. We're talking
Napoleon
about-
was.
That's because
I'm saying I wouldn't wish that on any woman.
No.
All right, then. Sarah,
Hi.
you're 19.
Yeah. My question is last night I had gone to the emergency room, and I had like the flu all day long. I was really dehydrated and dizzy, and the doctor said that I needed IV fluids right away. So they hooked me up to an IV, and they gave me some kind of shot to help with the nauseousness. And like halfway through it, I started getting really like dizzy, and I felt like the walls were caving in, and like things were going to start jumping out of me, and like people were going to start attacking me or something. And I was begging the nurse, let me go home, let me go home. I can't handle this anymore. I felt like I was going to be attacked.
Okay, that was probably me in the emergency room last night, but I couldn't have been a bad result if it was me. So.
And anyway, they're like, oh, you're having a slight reaction. Let's give you some Benadryl.
Right,
and
exactly.
like 10 minutes later, it still wasn't working. By this time, I was freaking, and I had pulled my IV out.
Okay.
And snuck and got my clothes on and left. And to this point, I am still very paranoid. I won't go outside. I am just freaking out all the time.
Doctors give things in the phenothiazine family, stuff like, and then compazine, droperidol is a common one. Haldol is a tranquilizer.
They put that in the IV?
When somebody's nauseous, it really works very quickly. But there's a side effect of these kind of medications that is the feeling that you've got to run, you've got to get up, you've got to move, that you get very extremely agitated inside.
All right,
and
so
Benadryl,
that's what happened.
You didn't get enough.
What should she do?
Well, you don't have any psychiatric problems, any psychiatric history?
No.
Hello?
I put her on hold.
Oh,
we gotta take more than 5 calls tonight. Just go ahead.
So you should really go back to the emergency room, and trust me, this is something that it's a matter of getting the right amount.
Won't it
of that
wear
medication.
off?
But it can last for days, and it's extremely uncomfortable.
Okay, so go back in, explain the symptoms, and they should know this time.
It happens all the time.
Okay, and don't be so freaked out that you can't go back in. Dr. Bruce, by the way, filling in for Dr. Drew. Dr. Bruce, board-certified physician, does emergency medicine and specializes in addiction medicine as well. Yeah. Michael.
You get all the plugs. The rabbi's treated like chopped liver, you know.
I'll tell you one thing about you Jews. You love liver. What is it with the Jews and the liver? I hate liver. All Goyim I know hate liver, but Jews, they wish they made the liver milkshake.
It's the most romantic human organ,
Yeah,
the liver.
Adam's romanced a few livers when he was a teenager.
He read Portnoy's complaint once.
That's right.
It's
Great
romantic.
book. Great.
Nice man, but I wouldn't shake his hand. Right, that's it, yeah.
All right, Michael. The caller goes by the name Michael, who's 16 years old, who wants to increase his penis size without surgery.
He's working on it right now.
All right.
Well, can I give Michael some advice on that one?
Yes.
Michael, it's not the length of the stick, it's the magic in the wand. Really, size does not matter, because what women want is a guy who's a bit romantic, and the moment you reduce sex to dimensions, you actually snuff out its magic. So I'd go back to the magic in the wand, my friend.
And
magic wand makes my penis grow.
All women want is oral sex anyway, so who cares what size the penis is? Rachel?
Yeah.
You're 16.
Mhm.
What's going on?
Well, I have a question for the rabbi. Okay, what is the myth behind the whole thing with using a sheet when they have sex?
Yeah. Well, actually, there is that belief that Jews, religious Jews, have sex through a sheet with a hole in the middle. And actually, I'm glad you asked that, because it gives me the opportunity to dispel the rumor. We do not have sex through a sheet with a hole in the middle. We actually have sex in 2 separate bedrooms through a hole in the wall. And often we have sex with full body armor, with like those lifted plates and stuff like that. No, this is nothing but one of those.
I know. I mean, I'm Lubavitch myself.
No, this is one of those great anti-Semitic slurs. Whenever you want to attack a racial group, you always go after their sexuality, and it's like that. But what I don't understand is, if they're going to use racial stereotypes, why do black men get these great stereotypes and the Jewish men get these awful ones? I just can't figure it out, But usually you will attack the group's sexuality and the way they procreate and stuff like that in order to make fun of them and degrade them. But this has never been true. In fact, in my book, Kosher Sex, I speak about how real sex is flesh press against flesh. And in Jewish law, Jewish sexual law, you're not even allowed to wear clothing. You have to have, you're supposed to become one flesh, and the emotions which sex generates is meant to sew you together as one flesh. So there can't be any clothing impeding it.
Can one flesh wear socks?
Well, as long as they're really sexy socks with like little bunny rabbits on the bottom and stuff like
like
that.
the
That would
Red
be
Chili
allowed.
Peppers.
This whole that's the whole problem with the whole Jew thing. It's a full-time job. Full-time. What am I going to eat? We got to press some flesh. I can't look at pornography. It's Saturday. I can't mow the lawn because it takes gas in the mower. What a way to live.
Well, what about the other way? I got emails to respond to. I have a cell phone that's ringing. I got to go see a movie. There's other pressures. If you can have life is full of pressures. The question is, which ones are you going to choose to have?
You say in your book here that masturbation is not acceptable.
Well, I don't say I don't say even once in the book that something is not acceptable. What I
Well-
try to do is I try to explain what can enhance our sex lives and what can actually revert the phenomenal loss of passion in modern sexual relationships. I mean, national studies show that sex on average lasts 5.5 minutes per encounter, which is why the average husband who says to his wife, "Let's have a quickie tonight," she looks back at him and says, "As opposed to what?" I mean, that's really what she only knows. Now, when it takes longer to smoke the cigarette after sex than it did to have it, passion has been lost from our relationships.
Well, that's why I smoke during sex.
You just do both at once.
I'm very
right?
efficient.
And but so the point of masturbation is it releases our sexual steam, and I think that sexual steam has to be built up for it to be really erotic. Our libido can't have these constant outlets if it's going to be powerful.
Listen, mathematician man, how long is sex going to last once you got a nice head of steam built up? I mean, if sex lasted 5.5 minutes when you blew off a little steam the afternoon before, let's say you haven't blown any steam off in a week. How long is it going to last? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's inversely proportional to the amount of foreplay. And men today, so many men today complain to me their wives are frigid in bed, and I say to them, if you've taken no time to heat up the oven, don't complain when the dish is half-baked. I mean, really, the whole day is foreplay, and that's when sex is great, when it's the culmination of emotional intimacy, which was built up during the day. But when it's just like, hey, I'm tired, and I need something to relax me at night so I can sleep, let's have sex.
So when you watch MTV and see the sexual imagery there for the kids, teenagers, visualize. What do you think about that in terms of what it's teaching them?
Well, I'll tell you something. The other day I did this debate against Larry Flint. About and he's a decent guy, but we debated about a hustler and pornography. My whole argument against these strong sexual images and everything is simply this: it's boring. After a while, you become so desensitized to it, you got to push the envelope further and further, and that's what leads people to doing outrageous sexual stuff because sex with their partner has become pretty damn boring.
Well, I got to agree with you on that, but I still like the hard stuff every once in a while. But listen, Rabbi, I have an important question. Do you have a special yarmulke for the shower, or do you just wear your normal yarmulke, or can you take it off to get in the shower?
What we do is we have a condom-shaped yarmulke.
You put that over.
Right, it sort of covers the
over
whole body.
Over the stock yarmulke?
Exactly, yeah.
Nice.
And this way it's waterproof and all that, so, right.
All right.
And I have one for you before we leave today.
Oh, you have a yarmulke?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
It's got like one of those Izod Lacoste alligators on it, so it's designer and fashionable as well.
I could use a new yarmulke. I wore right through my old yarmulke. All that thinking I do when I wear that yarmulke.
Rubbing your head.
It caught fire, all that friction.
It's always the weird part when you go over to the Trudy and Jules Mandel's house for Passover, and it's like the Goyim got to don the yarmulke too, but you get that cheap throwaway yarmulke.
That's right. That looks like a little pyramid, like a little mountains in placed on your head.
Let me tell you something about a yarmulke. Yarmulke's like a baseball mitt. You got to work it in, and you just go out there with a brand new shiny hard rock mitt. You're not going to have any game at all. So you go over to the Mandel's house, you sit down there, they're doing Seder. Some guy hands you a yarmulke that comes in a 24-pack they got from Costco, and you feel like the biggest dork in the world. It's got creases in it. It's not sitting right. And the yarmulke is a weird hat because you don't know when it's on and when it's off. So every 5 minutes while I'm trying to eat, I keep reaching up. Where's the yarmulke? Maybe it slid.
Well, on Dr. Bruce over here, we've got this beautiful bouffant hair thing, man. I mean, you try to put a yarmulke on that, and we're talking he's going to have to duck 5 feet to walk through that door when he goes out. But you see,
you need a roll of duct tape to hold that yarmulke on. Hold on a second, boys. We got to take ourselves a break. This show's it's just getting out of hand. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to call you. Can I call you by your first name, Rabbi?
Yeah, Shmuley, which is you know what it means, don't you?
No.
Well, Shmoo, it's two Hebrew words. Shmoo comes from the Hebrew root word shamu, which means killer whale, larger than life. And Lee, from the Hebrew word Pamela Anderson Lee. So together, it's larger than life Jewish sex symbol.
I'll tell you what, every Jew's a comedian.
Do they
That's
let you
going to
work
be
with
the name of my
Hey, with
book.
our history, man,
Even
we
the
had a laugh,
rabbis,
you know?
Even the rabbis will do 10 minutes at a bar mitzvah. All right, we're going to take ourselves a little break. Rabbi Shmuley's here, and Dr. Bruce filling in for Dr. Drew. When we come back, we'll speak to Tara, who's 27, has sexual dreams about family members.
Whoa.
Even the atheist
Tara.
disapproves of this. We'll get back to Tara after this.
LoveLine will be right back.
Oh, the beach, the sun, it's so hot.
How are you in that bikini?
Who's that?
Trojan Man! I've got hot news about Trojan Supra condoms.
Trojan Supra?
An incredible advancement in condom technology. It's not latex, strong yet ultra-thin. It's made from micro-shear polyurethane, so it transmits body heat for your ultimate sensual pleasure.
You can feel each other's heat.
I'm feeling overheated myself.
New Trojan Supra condoms from Trojan, America's most trusted condom.
Allergic to latex? Try Trojan Supra. See package for important information.
You can't feel your face. You're blasting through this long, icy tunnel. Wind screaming, clouds swirling. You stare down into a giant white crater and you take another chew on your icebreaker's gum. You feel a wall of wind smack you in the face. A gush of icy air fills your mouth and steals your breath away. You plunge headfirst into a total icebreaker's exhilaration. And then, the light turns green. You go. Icebreaker's intense, mouth-freshening gum in cool mint, hot cinnamon, and wintergreen.
Hi, I'm Serenity, and these are my friends, Missy and Stephanie.
You know, a lot of things happen to us every day that we have no control over.
But HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases aren't things that just happen to you. You do have a choice. You can choose to use a condom, have safe sex, and take control of your life.
Asking for a condom isn't stupid. It's smart. It shows that you care about yourself and your partner.
You can do something about sexually transmitted diseases. Use a condom.
Every partner.
Every time.
We do.
A message brought to you by Wicked Pictures and AIDS Project Los Angeles.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool, join the crowd, have a drink even though you're not 21.
Let's go, she's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Somewhere in our community is a mother whose drug abuse once left her unable to care for her kids. There's a father, too, whose alcohol use drove his wife and children away. There's a boyfriend whose drug use frightened his girlfriend into giving him an ultimatum: get help or I'm gone. Help is available. It's in the form of treatment programs for drug abuse and alcohol problems, and the good news is that these programs are making a big difference in people's lives. With proper treatment, mothers and fathers, sweethearts and coworkers, friends and neighbors are overcoming drug and alcohol problems and reclaiming their lives. Isn't it great that treatment works? To find out about drug and alcohol treatment programs that can help, call 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-HELP. There is help, and it works. A public service of this station and the Center for Substance Abuse Treatment.
Dad, I don't think our campfire's totally out.
Are you kidding me? I know when a campfire's out. Did you drown the fire with water and stir it with a stick? No, it's out. We don't have to... Who said that?
Frank, it's a talking moose with sunglasses.
And a bunch of singing and dancing forest animals.
We know we can count on you to do what Smokey says.
And when your folks desire to build a fire,
hot, hot.
clear brush and branches away, and keep water nearby like you oughta. Okay, I poured water on the fire. I stirred it with a stick. Everybody walked slowly toward the RV.
Dad, these are just Smokey's friends.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Frank, it's Smokey.
Nice hat, Smokey. Want the rest of my peanut butter sandwich?
Dad!
Visit Smokey at www.smokeybear.com. Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, the National Association of State Foresters, and the Ad Council.
Neat. It is LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Bruce over there filling in for Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Snoop Dogg will be in here later in the week and talk about an eclectic week. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach is here tonight. He's the author of Kosher Sex and Dating: Secrets of the Ten Commandments, and he's a rabbi. He's a lecturer. He was at Oxford and an author, and the book's in its sixth printing. And even if you're not Jewish, you will still get some information out of this book.
Even for the uncircumcised, kosher sex is a cut above, as I like to say.
I'll tell you. Let me tell you something about the Jews. Jews are just chock full of anecdotes and isms. It is a very verbal culture.
People of the metaphor. That's right.
Yeah, it's. I've never met a Jew. My grandfather, he would tell you a story. Now, as you got older, you'd hear the same one for the 150th time.
But embellished endlessly, you know.
Yeah.
As though, and exaggerated.
Man, like Catholics, they're not so good at talking. Christians, they're not much, but the Jews, they can really talk. Jesus.
And all those medical ailments, that's what's really cool. I mean, what did your grandfather tell you about, like, his hip replacement and how often his, like, loins failed him?
Well, my grandfather's favorite line, he died at 93 or 94. His favorite line was, I'd say, Grandpa, how do you feel? And he'd say, I feel good, but if I felt this way at 25, I'd call an ambulance. And it's like, yep, there you go. That's what it is, and it just keeps getting worse with age. Tara?
Yeah.
Is it Tara or Tara?
It's Tara.
Tara, you're 27.
Yep.
You had a sexual dream about a family member?
Well, I occasionally have sexual dreams about family members and also other women, like strangers, and I wonder what that could mean.
Well, when you say other women, so what, the family members, your mom or your sister? Or,
well, yeah. I mean, I've had dreams on occasion about both my parents or my sisters, or also just like other, like just women that I don't even know.
And are you engaging in sex with your mom?
No. I mean,
sorry, I didn't mean to imply that. Just because you're
I
having
have
sexual
a really
dreams.
normal family life, and I've had boyfriends and.
Do you live at home, Tara?
No.
I've written a book about dreams, so let me just get into this for a second.
Have?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, good.
For many years, I was really interested in interpreting my own dreams. Firstly, mostly what we dream is what we think about during the day. So, do you ever fantasize about family members during the day, or do these dreams entirely surprise you?
They surprise me, and during the dream it doesn't seem strange or anything, but then I wake up and it really.
Well, what are you
creeps me
doing
out.
with them?
Well, just I don't know, like having sex. Really, most of the time. I don't have them.
Didn't I ask that about 10 minutes ago?
Is it the male and female members of the family? Anything out of the normal boundaries when you were younger that you remember?
Nothing at all that I no. I mean, no, not
All
at
right.
all.
You able to have relationships now?
Yeah, I have always had healthy relationships with boyfriends and everything like that.
All right, well, listen, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. If you have, this is what I've learned from this show, if you can maintain a healthy relationship with someone of the opposite sex or even the same sex, if the limits are there, if everything's working out, the intimacy is fine, all that, these dreams can be damned. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? The bottom line is you can function in a relationship, so how far, how bad can you be?
Well, if they start causing
Still
you to be
weird,
anxious,
I understand.
unresolved.
Unless, hold on, Tara?
Yeah.
Is your mom really hot?
Well, no.
No, okay.
Tara, can I
there's
ask
just
something
no
else?
excuse for that.
This dream that you have, do you remember, is it in full color or is it black and white?
I always dream in color.
Because very often the dreams that we have are unfulfilled wishes. And I don't mean necessarily about the sexual content here, but for many people, sex is a metaphor for intimacy. And it could be that if you have a very, very alienated relationship and you're distant from your parents and you don't know how to correct it, some people use these extreme ways of wanting to do so by employing sexual imagery.
That is very astute. I do agree with that. That's an interesting observation. Now, let me ask you about dreams, by the way, because I didn't know this was a sideline of yours. I never seem to dream about anything. I mean, anything significant. My dreams personally are very mundane. I do not have grandiose dreams. My theory on why I don't have grandiose dreams is I would wake up immediately. If I was on top of Claudia Schiffer, I would know immediately that something was awry, that this could not be actual life, that I must be dreaming, and therefore I would wake up. Or if I'd won the lottery or scored the winning touchdown in a Super Bowl. I have dreams where I go down to the kitchen, open the fridge, I'm out of mayonnaise. I swear to God I've had this dream. I'm out of mayonnaise. I swore I bought some mayonnaise, and I walk back up to my bedroom thinking, I got to get some more mayonnaise. And I go, do whatever. Very mundane dreams. Now, what's your theory behind that?
I think the mundane dreams are the most significant of all. It's the non-grandiose dreams that tell us the most about ourselves. The main difference between waking reality and the dream reality is, in waking reality, it's all about manipulation. I mean, I'm using words right now to manipulate a radio show, and we're trying to make people laugh or get interested, etc. So we're taking images and we're using them we're putting them in a sequence and a pattern that serves our purposes. Of course, in a dream, the beauty of a dream is there's no manipulation because our objective intellect is asleep, and now we're just putting together a stream of ideas based on form, based on association. So you can begin to see how your mind thinks subconsciously. So when you go and you are missing some essential item like mayonnaise, it could really be a phenomenal metaphor of something missing in your life and you're not prepared to confront it. And I know it sounds like, wow, maybe we're saying too much of this, but...
No, this is... You hit the nail. If you
I don't even
like what's your life like without
much.
mayonnaise? For goodness sake?
But I'm not even a big fan.
You're eating tuna, which is like dry.
I'm not a huge fan of mayonnaise, though. I have dreams about what my other most common dream is? Mundane, negative things. Go down to my car, somebody busted the window and stole the stereo. That's like a dream of mine. Not I'm being attacked, not the car is stolen, just somebody stole the stereo. I got to go back up the stairs and call the insurance guy. That's a dream.
And a lot of people value their stereos and their possessions more than they value themselves. So
no, you know what I think this dream is for? I wake up, this is interesting. I don't want to be disappointed. I wake up, I feel good. I wake up, I look at my car, the stereo's still in it. If I dreamt I won the lotto, I'd wake up, I'd be disappointed. Instead, I wake up, I'm elated, I have a stereo and some mayonnaise.
What's very interesting about your dreams, though, is that they all revolve around the concept of deprivation. You're always being deprived of something, which is interesting. No one's giving you anything.
That's true. I tell you, we got to talk during the commercial because all Jews are geniuses. That's going to be the name of my book. I swear to God, these Jews are geniuses. They're all smart. They're smarter than everyone, and that's why everyone picks on them, because we're jealous.
Hey man, wait a second. So fine, I appreciate the compliment, but I'm sitting here in front of you. I'm about 5'2", right? I mean, you just basically picked me up with your arm and put me in my seat over here. Why couldn't God have balanced this brain thing with a bit of body, right? Why? I want to be like the first Jewish rabbi wrestler.
Let me explain why. Let me explain why the Jews are short. Their brain is so goddamn heavy, they can't get over 6 foot. Robert.
Yeah.
You're 22.
22.
What's up?
Attracted to younger girls.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly 16, 17-year-olds.
Asshole.
And that was Dr. Drew from God knows where he is. And by the way, we got to hear the Drew shuffle and the Drew boogie tonight, Anderson. So you're 22. You're attracted to 16-year-old girls.
Yeah.
Okay, that's too young for you.
And they're kind of attracted to me.
Well, listen, everyone's attracted to 16-year-old girls, and a lot of 16-year-old girls are attracted to guys just because they have cars and live in their own one-bedroom crap hole somewhere in Van Nuys, like I'm sure you do, Robert.
Nope.
The point is, well, you're not out of the house yet?
No. I'm back in. Matter of fact, I'm back into my house.
Whose house?
My mom's house.
All right. Well, good. So everything's going along just according to plan, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Now, why are you back in the house?
Well, the girl I just broke up with, well, I don't know if I'm broke up or not. We've been going out for about 2 years and 1 month. We have an 8.5-month-old baby.
Yeah, boy.
We moved to Ohio in February, and it didn't work out with me and her family because all her family lives in Ohio, so I moved back to Maryland.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do, construction?
Yeah, well, no, I work at a restaurant.
All right. Well, you almost agreed to the construction thing, didn't you?
Well, I did construction in the past.
Yeah, I can smell sawdust
you're
on
a prophet, man.
Let me tell you, I did construction. I have many years, so I know the guy. Hey, Robert, listen to me, goofball. You're 22 years old. You live at home. You have a kid. You're a father. You have to be a man now. You can't take kids when you're a man. Everybody wants to get it on with a 16-year-old. We just don't.
It's a fantasy.
Okay.
What's the longest you've talked to the 16-year-old?
What I'm talking to now? I just met her about a week ago.
Yeah, but it's not going to work. You know, your conversations aren't going to get very far. If you get into any kind of physical activity, it's gonna
listen,
be
believe
a
me, the
disaster.
16-year-old's smarter than he is.
Well,
what are you kidding me?
It's not smart. It's the level.
I mean, Robert's like, I just broke up with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Come on.
I read these Lonely Hearts ads all the time. I've never seen one that says the following, which you would expect to read. You would expect to see, successful businessman seeks prostitute for love, long-term relationship, and marriage. Now, why is that? Because prostitutes should be the best kinds of wives. A, they have great bodies. B, they should be great in bed, otherwise they'd be bankrupt. C, they're usually wise because they have to survive on the streets. Perfect mate. Why aren't men interested in marrying prostitutes? And I think the real reason is men find innocence sexy, and that's why so many men like these 16-year-olds. They think that this is a page that hasn't been written on. I can make my own imprint, and really cool. You know, that's why men are attracted to the virginal qualities and stuff like that. But this is a perversion of innocence. We see youth as innocence, when really innocence is a woman who opens her heart to you, a woman who's prepared to accept your contribution, a woman who's prepared to share your life. So this is an inversion of the whole innocent thing, and it's really bad.
Yeah, well, we've confused innocence with new.
Exactly.
I mean, we look at it
exactly.
like
That's exactly what I'm saying. Right. Thank you.
there
You said
go.
it far better than me.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
See, Gentiles are also pretty smart.
Chalk one up for the Gentile, everybody. All right, we're going to take ourselves a little break. We will hear the Dr. Drew shuffle and or boogie when we return, because I missed a guy. Dr. Bruce is filling in. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach is here.
You gotta get like a chicken
sex.
bone stuck in your throat to say it properly.
I don't have enough phlegm to be a Jew. I tried to be a Jew once. They kicked me out. Not enough phlegm. Tossed me right out of the I was about to say church, right out of the temple. All right,
Dude.
we're going to take ourselves a little break, and then we'll come back. We'll speak to Jay. Jay's 27. Just found out that sex partner is married with kids. Wants to know if he should stay with her. We'll answer that after this.
LoveLine, 1-800-LOVE-191. Back in a minute.
Well, it's worth hearing.
How was school today, Rebecca?
We learned what the Earth was like a long time ago, way back in the 1990s.
Oh.
Grandpa, did you ever taste water?
Oh, my, no. By the time I was a boy, water, if you could find it, was pretty much unfit to drink. But I hear tell, long ago, children used to make lemonade with actual tap water and drink it on hot, sunny days.
Really?
Yeah, and sometimes they'd fill balloons with water and toss them at each other and laugh, or run through the sprinklers singing and carrying on. And then after a day of playing, their folks would put them in a tub, fill it with water and bubbles, and scrub them till they were squeaky clean.
Wow. Why didn't people try to save the water?
Well, I guess they didn't think one person could make a difference.
Thousands of Americans make a difference every day. For example, over 900 million tons of untreated sewage is no longer discharged into our nation's waters. A message from ECHO, the Earth Communications Office.
Okay, class. This part of the museum is known as the Hall of Trees.
What's a tree?
Large plants that once covered much of the Earth. This is a full-scale model of a maple tree.
What are those green things?
Those were called leaves. They took in sunlight, nourished the tree, expelled oxygen, creating air for people to breathe.
People didn't breathe out of air tanks?
No, then air was everywhere. The sky was blue, even the ocean was blue,
The ocean was blue?
and filled with fish.
What's a fish?
When you protect the Earth, you protect your health and that of your children. We're making progress. There has been a significant improvement. 20 years ago, air pollution in Los Angeles exceeded health standards on 4 out of every 5 days. But we still have a long way to go.
Here's the Hall of Weather. Press that button and you'll hear a rainfall.
Why'd they need rain?
Without rain, a flower couldn't grow.
What's a flower?
One person can make a difference. A message from ECHO, the Earth Communications Office.
Personally, I'm so sick of hearing about the environment.
I know. What's everyone so worried about?
51 million Americans live in areas where the air is officially classified as unhealthy to breathe.
It's a big world, and it's been here a long time.
Yeah, we're talking years and years and years.
The Center for Disease Control says that 94,000 people get sick every year from contaminated water. 900 of those people die.
It's all in their heads.
It's media hype.
The average American dumps at least 20 pounds of household toxins down the drain every year. most of which ends up in the drinking water supply.
Personally, I drink tap water. I mean, it's not like we're in Bangladesh.
Personally, I feel fine. I mean, I ask you, seriously, who's really getting hurt here?
5.8 million children died last year as a result of unsafe drinking water.
Not me or my kids, right, Billy? Billy? Where are you?
Can one person make a difference? Today, 66% of our rivers and lakes are safe for fishing and swimming, a third more than in 1970. One person can make a difference. A message from ECHO, the Earth Communications Office.
And now, Vince and Larry, the crash test dummies, with a lullaby.
Crumple, crumple, little car. When you crash, it's au revoir.
If on dumb luck you rely, through the windshield they will fly.
Keep your children off the streets. Put your kids in safety seats.
Crumple, crumple, little car. Don't be dummies like we are. Gee, Vince, I'm kind of sleepy now.
Okay, Larry, just crash anywhere.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your kids' safety belts. A message from the Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool. Join the crowd. Have a drink, even though you're not 21.
Let's go. She's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It is the LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. It is Dr. Bruce over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Snoop Dogg will be in on Wednesday night, allegedly.
Well, I'm bringing my posse on Wednesday night.
All right. And your posse consists of a husky nurse from Loma Linda. Come on. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach is here. He's the author of Kosher Sex and Dating Secrets of the Ten Commandments. And I'll tell you what I want to do. I miss that Drew so much. I miss his voice. I want to hear the Dr. Drew shuffle or the Dr. Drew boogie, both put together in exquisite fashion by the late, great engineer Mike. And I'd also wouldn't mind to hear a couple of out-of-context Drew drops because I miss the son of a bitch so much. Could we hear something like that, Anderson?
Pee on this stick. Makes me sick. Pee on this stick. Makes me sick.
If I find you stealing my underwear again, here's what's going to happen. Asshole.
Stuff like this. Stuff like this. Stuff like this. Makes me sick.
You're fat.
Asshole.
You're fat.
Can I say that?
You're fat. You're overweight.
I want to be dominated. You're gay. I want to be dominated. You're gay. When I was 19, I ate about 4 boiled peyote buttons and stayed up all night but felt no effect. It's called intimacy. Can I say that?
This is not acceptable.
Can I say that?
You're fat.
Not acceptable. Pee on this stick. Not acceptable. Boiled peyote button. Not acceptable.
You're overweight.
Not acceptable. Can I say that? Say that?
How do you read girls' signals, dude?
Anderson, thanks for the mic. Let me hear just a few more of those Drew drops. Come on. I just want to hear, I don't know, I want to hear the one about the faggot better run.
Why do you give her RF? Faggot better run?
Yeah. Come on, drop a few in there.
I recently went to a fraternity party and got really drunk. I randomly hooked up with a guy and we had sex. I didn't even know his name the next morning. Now he keeps calling me and I don't even still remember his name.
I'm keeping it real, yeah. Jizz guzzling. I'm just keeping it. Ever since I stopped taking Depo-Provera, I've been lactating.
Jeez, I don't even remember the jizz guzzling one.
We're delighted if you get naked at parties.
Well, it's really getting out of hand. All right, there goes the Dr. Drew shuffle, and for those of you who know the show, we'll hear the Dr. Drew boogie. The
Grandes éxitos en español.
Updated version of that later on in the show. Don't let me forget about that. And now we'll get back to the phones. Jay, you're 27?
Yeah, I'm 27.
All right.
I'm a bartender, and I met this girl last week, about a week and a half ago. And she turns out that she's 32 years old, and she's told me a couple nights ago that she's married and has 2 kids. We've been sexually active, and she tells me that the agreement between her and her husband is that they're together because of the kids, and it's a don't ask, don't tell policy.
All right.
So I've been single for about 2.5 years, and I'm looking for a girl to fall in love with, and I met this girl, and she's really great. And
hey, Jay.
I don't know what to do.
Jay, let me make this observation. Is it that she's so great, or that you're so desperate?
No,
it's been come on. It's been 2.5 years. She's obviously a little bit screwed up. She's in this bizarre relationship with her husband. She's hanging out at the bar talking to a guy who's 27 who sounds like Burgess Meredith, for Christ's sake. I mean, she may not. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I've been there too, Jay. What I'm saying is I've gone long periods of time without dating, being single and stuff, and someone who's willing to date you seems like quite a prize. But if you just...
No, it hasn't been 2.5 years since I've had a date. It's been 2.5 years since I've been in a relationship.
Well, you've been a little bit lonely, though, for the last few years, is
Not
what
really.
I'm saying.
Not
You haven't been.
So what are you worried about with the kids? What's the question?
She's married.
If I should stay with her.
Oh, she's married.
She's married and has kids and lives with her husband. He's essentially...
So do you have a stealth relationship with this gal? I don't understand. It's don't ask, don't tell. So she's going to stay with the guy. She's going to be mom. She's going to be the wife. And yet, how are you going to develop a relationship?
Yeah.
It's not a relationship. You're talking about
course,
getting
I mean,
in the sack with her. And
Look, every relationship has two fundamental components. And they are primacy, you put each other first, and the second is exclusivity, you make yourselves the one and only. And you seem to have neither. You have primary in your life, and you have no exclusivity. You have no relationship, man.
Let's skip those two and go on to
Yeah,
you basically have sex. That's what you got.
Yeah,
And
that's what he
sex
has.
maketh not a relationship.
No, but if he wanteth and if he just wanteth her for sexeth, then that's his prerogative. But he wants more than that, and he's going to be in for some bitter disappointment.
Absolutely.
All right, so move on. You're a bartender, for Christ's sake. You should be, bartending is the greatest job in the world. Women pay you to get them loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, all these other idiots are sitting around the bar dropping a week's paycheck trying to get the chick at the end of the bar loaded. Meanwhile, the chick's tipping you for giving her a beer and getting her drunk.
And she's telling you all her secrets.
Oh, and she's the one you're looking at while she's getting loaded. God, I wish I was a bartender. John.
Yeah.
You're 15.
Yeah.
What's up?
Whenever I have sex with my girlfriend, I can't last for more than a minute before I come.
Yeah. So you mean if you made it to like a minute and 15 seconds, you'd be jumping up and down, yelling yes?
Well, like 5 minutes or something. You know,
I see.
I get all excited and stuff.
Okay. And you're 15 years old.
How old's your girlfriend?
What?
How old's your girlfriend?
She's 15 too.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 14, though, John, based on your hesitation. How old is she, seriously?
She's 15.
Okay, and when you have sex, do you use a condom?
Sometimes.
Oh, I see. Well, that seems
So you want a
effective.
family?
Hey, John, and when you're wearing a condom, does it still last?
Yeah, it's usually like maybe a little bit longer.
With the condom?
Yeah.
Listen, first off, goofball, you need to use a condom each and every time. Your penis is like, it's like, they have that like a landmine World War II surplus that's buried out somewhere on some Japanese island, and you never know when that stuff's going to go off. You can't handle that. I mean, there's no consistency to it at all. That penis could go off at any moment.
Yeah.
You're not one of these guys who can time anything.
Well, he's just saying. That's
yeah.
timing's his whole problem.
You gotta use the condom, John. You're gonna get her pregnant. Also use the condom because it's gonna last. It's gonna add a little to the time.
For this thing to work correctly, the penis has to be attached to a mature body that's having a relationship that's mature. And really, I'm just curious. When do you have sex with your? When do you have sex with your girlfriend? What time of day? Where?
What time of day?
Yeah.
At her house, like.
Yeah, after school.
No, like we spend like nights together, and on the weekend.
So the parents know your parents know you're having sex.
Yeah.
And her parents let you sleep over?
Sometimes.
Yeah, see, Jew would never do that.
I never do that. You know
what I love? Let me just hop in for a second. You know what I love about my Jewish friends? These guys would be off at college. They'd be, 22, 23 years old, 21 years old. They're off at college drinking, doing blow, and nailing chicks. They get a girlfriend. I swear to God, one friend of mine, I'm not going to mention the guy's name. I don't want to get him in trouble. But this guy is working on Miami Vice. He's in Miami during the heyday of Miami Vice. Hey, guy's doing some drugs. He's drinking. He's banging around with all sorts of chicks. He gets himself a crazy Latino girlfriend. They're shacked up in Miami. The guy's 27 years old. He comes back to L.A. to stay at home. His mom is like, she's in that bedroom.
Right.
You're in that bedroom. And I'm yelling at the guy, come on, when you're in Miami, it's Sodom and Gomorrah over there. I mean, you're doing lines of coke off her belly. Give me a break. No, you're in that bedroom. You're in that. I'm like, the guy's 26 years old.
But that's what
look,
should be happening when this.
Well, I mean,
where's the kids?
Well, listen, not at 26, but at 15. Hell yeah.
Adam, don't you find it a bit odd that today's youth find it so easy to become instantly physically naked, and yet they can be in relationships in their 20s for years and they've never become emotionally naked. They've never told each other their deepest fears. They've never revealed their anxieties. They've never shared their hopes and dreams. And the problem with that is when you become sexually active too quickly, there's nothing to look forward to anymore.
No.
You know, I find these guys, by the time they're 18 and 19, they're jaded. Women to them are only commodities, and even sex isn't exciting. Hey, if you're lasting 1 minute, be happy, man. By the time you're 19, if you get 20 seconds out of this,
I'd like to hold on a second.
I'd like to get
Bruce, shut up.
the
Shut up. We got to go to break. You can't keep talking.
Can I talk after?
No, when I'm telling you shut up, shut up.
Okay.
Adam's being the Jewish mother on the show tonight,
Christ.
okay? He's going to get his way one way or another.
Shut my mic.
All right. I'll shut both your mics off and hit you with mine. We're going to take a little break, and then we'll get back, and Bruce will have 10 seconds to get his worthless point out after this.
LoveLine, 1-800-LOVE-191. Back in a minute.
Well, it's worth hearing.
These are the sounds of today's kids. And these are the voices of today's kids.
Don't underestimate me. I can work harder in school.
Give me a problem that's hard to solve.
Give me tougher work. Give me tougher books. When I solve a tough problem, I'm on top of the world.
Surprised? Don't be. 74% of kids say school should only pass them to the next grade when they've learned what's expected of them.
I'm not afraid to fail.
If I make a mistake, I'll do better next time.
75% of kids say they'd study harder if their schools gave them tougher tests. The fact is, almost all kids want to be challenged in school. So listen to the voices of kids today.
Challenge me.
Challenge me. Challenge me.
Do your part. Support higher academic achievement in your state and challenge our schools to challenge our kids. For a free booklet, call 1-800-38-BE-SMART. A message from the Ad Council and the Education Excellence Partnership.
Taking all that work home?
No, this is my own stuff. I've got a date with a financial planner.
You're only 25. Why are you planning for retirement already?
Hey, I want to be able to choose when I retire and know that I'll be financially secure when I do.
I've heard lots of people call themselves financial planners, but aren't they really trying to get you to invest in their favorite fund? Like they're selling size 20 shoes so everyone gets a hello Bigfoot.
Half this stuff is my bank statements, company insurance policies, tax returns. The planner's going to know a lot about me before recommending anything. The rest is background information I've collected on her and 2 other planners. If she passes tonight's round, she gets my papers.
Securing your financial future is important. You have a right to expect financial advice that's competent, ethical, and based on your needs. To verify that a planner is certified, call toll-free 888-CFP-MARK. A public service of the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards.
Hey, driving fans! It may have happened to you. You may have heard the roar of the rumble strips, the blast of car and truck horns, and the heart-pounding fear of a near miss. Avoid all the dangerous crash action that comes with falling asleep at the wheel. Experience the amazing power nap. You've never seen power like this before. The Power Nap. Find out what the professional drivers have been doing for years. The Power Nap gives you the energy you need for the road ahead, and it's free. Whether you're driving to the shore with your family, to another city to meet a client, to school across the state, or anywhere there's action. The Power Nap is your ticket to revitalization. Experience the Power Nap at a rest stop near you. Just pull in, find a safe, well-lighted spot to park, turn off the key, and close your eyes. In just 20 to 30 minutes, you'll have the energy you need to drive safely for miles. So don't push it, park it, and feel the power of the Power Nap. A wake-up call to all drivers from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the American Trucking Association.
It's nearly 6 a.m. and we're at a rest stop talking to travelers. Excuse me?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of circadian rhythms?
It's like a Latin band, right?
Not quite. Do you know what circadian rhythms are?
It's when the stars all align and their energy creates...
No. How about you, sir? Circadian rhythms. Exactly. Circadian rhythms tell your body when it should be sleeping as well as when it should be awake. Circadian rhythms are part of our body's internal controls, a kind of built-in clock that tells us when to wake up and when to go to sleep each day. Imagine the danger that comes when we try to drive when our body thinks we should be sleeping, especially at night, early morning, and for many people, mid-afternoon. You really should try to avoid driving during your body's downtimes. If you have to drive when you'd normally be sleeping and you find yourself getting drowsy, stop for a refreshing 20 to 30-minute nap. Now what would you say when I say circadian rhythms?
I'd say, don't push it, park it.
Right. A wake-up call from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the American Trucking Associations.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool. Join the crowd. Have a drink even though you're not 21.
Let's go. She's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Introducing NFL Insider, the new magazine no NFL fan should be without. Open up NFL Insider. It's your all-access pass to the National Football League. NFL Insider's exclusive photos and stories take you inside the action to places you've never been before. Plus, in our preview issue, there's in-depth scouting reports on the upcoming year. It's pure football, all year long. The NFL Insider. Pick up your copy at newsstands now.
It is LoveLine. All right, we're going to take a quick 10-second timeout. We'll be back with more of the show in just 10 seconds.
This is LoveLine on radio station.
It's LoveLine. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Bruce, filling in for Dr. Drew. He's board certified. He's an addiction medicine specialist. He specializes in emergency medicine. He can answer your question, albeit not as eloquently as Drew, but Drew's had a lot of experience. Let's be honest. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach.
Dr. Bruce he's pretty damn sexy though. He's got everyone's got their virtue.
I like
So wise, Rabbi.
Bruce. He has a very disheveled look to him.
That's right.
He has a lot of that nutty professor going on there.
Watch.
Rabbi Shmuley is the author of Kosher Sex and Dating, Secrets of the Ten Commandments, and he's a very wise man who makes some very wise points, and we're glad to have him on tonight, and we're going to take some more calls. Danny, you're 17?
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I'm a first-time caller, long-time listener.
All right.
And my thing is that I've been going to my barber for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is that he's been coming on to me. And my question is, should I keep going to him?
Your barber's gay?
Yeah.
First off, he's not a barber. He's a stylist. If he's gay.
No, he's a barber.
No. Listen to me. You cannot technically be a barber and gay. Once you start blowing guys, you become a stylist. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't care if there's a striped pole in front of your place and you only charge with haircuts on the wall and Playboys in the waiting area. You are a stylist.
Danny,
Can't blow guys and be a barber.
You want to
understand?
get on with the question, agree with him, and let's... Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So what's he doing? How's he coming on to you, Danny?
Like, at first, like, he didn't come on to me. Like, first, he'd be talking about chicks and stuff. And, like, later on, like one time he asked me, if I wanted some head. And I don't know, that kind of like...
But to a barber, that could just be could mean a little talc on the back of your neck or something.
Why did you go back to him after he asked you that question?
I mean, the guy seemed like pretty cool, but like he stopped after a while.
But cool in what way? Is he a great barber? Does your hair look great afterwards? So you overlook this sexual innuendo he uses while he cuts your golden locks?
Nah, it's not that. It's just that I don't know. It's cool talking to him.
All right. Well, hold on, Danny. Do you like him?
Nah, man. Nah.
You're not attracted to him in any way?
Not
all right.
at
So he came on to you. Don't go back. All right.
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And
Come on. Do some math here, Danny.
There's lots of good stylists and barbers.
And by the way, if somebody comes on to you, whether it's gay or heterosexually, they come on to you and you come back, they'll take that as a message.
Absolutely.
Right. Is that like my boyfriend hit me? Should I get out of the relationship?
Right. Yeah. If you're a woman and your husband or boyfriend smacks you around and you go to your sister's for a night and then you come back the next day, he'll take that as a message that he can smack you around.
But there's so little confidence in society today that people are afraid to give strong signals of what we disapprove of. I mean, you can say to someone, "I really didn't appreciate that comment," and they won't bring it up anymore. But we think we have no right to say that. We can't make any judgments about people's comments. But this guy did something inappropriate. It's a professional relationship. You're paying him to cut your hair. Cut the damn hair and move on.
Right. And if he's not offering any kind of oral sex discount with that haircut, certainly
that was my next question.
You move on.
Well, let's go to one.
You want to go to one? All right.
Counterpoint.
Matt?
Yeah.
You're 14.
Yeah.
What's up?
Adam, you should run for president.
Thank you. I'm thinking what?
He's 35. You're of age now. You can't run.
Is it 35?
It's 35.
All right. I can do it.
And I'll meet you in the Lincoln bedroom.
No Comedy Central here, so no man show, but it's great. Yeah. I'm going to try out for golf for school, and I need to take a physical. I was wondering what goes on during those.
Really? You have to take a physical for golf?
Yeah.
What kind of generation of
It's not
wussies
true.
are we raising?
You have to have a pot belly for golf. They don't even let you play.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys in black socks and white shoes in their mid-70s who are playing golf.
Well, for
You
any
need a
sport, you
physical.
need a physical.
All right.
I'm not sure it's a sport.
So you think they're going to do the hernia check?
Figure.
Yeah. All right. I've had plenty of those because I always played
That
football. and I always
weightlifting, all that
got
weightlifting you do, Adam.
No, I've never had. Actually, I do have a hernia, actually, but that's a
Yeah, me
different.
too.
Different.
Mm.
Oh, do you? Good. We can rub them together during the break.
No, we can get it repaired.
It's a lucky. And we'll get a little group rate. Here's the thing. They will. I played football for 10 years, and they always get this check. They drop your pants. They put their, index finger or something. They wedge it up sort of around your
Inguinal
scrotum
canal,
and
right.
your penis there, and then they tell you turn your head and cough. Now, I figured out later the turn your head part is so you wouldn't cough on the guy's
Absolutely,
head.
right.
I always thought it meant, why do I have to turn my head? And so because otherwise you just look down and cough right onto the guy's toupee or whatever the doctor was wearing.
You think it's a toupee?
So the point is you cough. He puts his finger up there. He's as unhappy about it as you are, Matt, but it takes all of 5 seconds.
The way you described this, Adam, it seems like you enjoyed this. I mean, the detail with the.
I was uncomfortable with it. The worst day I had is when I, doctors love this. They love to tell you get in your underpants, and then they go out and play the back nine at Riviera, and then they come back about 4 days later, and you're like, doctors. Here's what doctors do. They like to see how long they can get you to stand in your underpants. Get down. So they do this. They do a little. The nurse comes in, does a little something. Then the doctor does a little something, and the nurse says, get down to your underpants. The doctor will be in just a moment. You go, all right. You get down to your underpants, and you wait around for about an hour and 45 minutes in your underpants like an idiot. Well, when I get my underpants, especially when I was in high school, my penis thinks it's time to go. You understand? Not sexually, but from a masturbatory standpoint. It's like rattling the chain while your dog is sleeping, getting the leash and waving it around or opening the can open. Dog thinks it's time to rock and roll. My penis, when I get down to my underpants, my penis thinks it's time to masturbate. So I'm standing there in my underpants, and I'm starting to get an erection. And I'm 16, 17 years old. You can get erection anytime.
The doctor walks in and asks if you're happy to see him. Is that,
now I have an erection in my underpants standing, and I'm waiting. I'm just staring at the door with this erection, waiting for him to burst through it at any moment now.
Worst fear in the world.
And I know all the other aspects of the physical are done. He's going to walk right in. He's going to get down on one knee. He's going to tell me to drop those underpants, and I'm not going to be able to get him over the erection. So I start thinking, okay, this is bad. So what can I do to get rid of this erection? And once your mind will start playing tricks on you. I start thinking about Vietnam. I start thinking about my grandmother.
Your mother.
Then I start thinking about my grandmother in Vietnam, like leading a platoon, shooting gooks, in Vietnam with my grandmother. But that's not working because there's some sort of bizarre macabre sexual
It was
charge
then that
I'm
you
getting
put
from
on
that.
you put on the country music, right?
And whoop, no. What I did at that point is and this is what makes me a genius. This is what makes me, not book smart, but street smart. I thought to myself, have you ever had an erection when you were exercising? And the answer was no. I dropped my ass down. I started doing push-ups right on that floor. I paddled off about 35 push-ups. When I stood back up again, the penis was gone. All the blood that was in the penis went right to my shoulders.
Well, you should have just thought. They say that the male brain and the penis can't work at the same time. The blood supply is insufficient. So.
In his case, there's not much of a problem with that.
Exactly.
But you know what I want to point out? Here's boundaries. He's concerned about having his testicles touched. When a doctor does that exam, he has a glove on, and there's somebody witnessing this, as opposed to the guy having his hair cut, who's not exactly as concerned.
Wait a minute.
As he
Who
should
witnesses the scrotal?
You have a nurse.
Oh, she ain't in there.
You're having yes, you have a nurse.
No, she not. I never had a nurse in there.
When you do
I
these
wanted
exams,
a
we
nurse
used to
in
do
there.
these when we were residents for extra money. You have like 100 kids at a time, and there's a small area you're doing it in, and you have somebody doing a blood pressure. Somebody's with them. But the point is, it's a normal concern at 14 to have somebody touching your.
Wait a second. We just had a 15-year-old call up and say that he can't last long enough in sex. I mean, isn't there something screwy when the whole concept of shame pertains to not wanting to show your genitals to a qualified medical practitioner, but you have no problem showing it to your 15-year-old girlfriend? I mean, shame is meant to be the guardian of human virtue. The fact is that all of us have a good side, and it can be corrupted. And the idea of shame is that it sort of protects it. I mean, why is this? The caller, which I understand, you're a bit ashamed of showing your genitals to your doctor, but why not to someone who's 14 or 15?
Well, he may in fact have that. I mean, it's not the same guy. Hey, I got a plan for the Jews, by the way. It just popped in my head, but it's something I thought about for a while. They're always going at it over there with the Palestinians, and it's nonstop. It's a big mess, and everyone needs their holy land. Meanwhile, the whole place is just a big dump. Get some of that topsoil, because I know it's holy ground, but the point is how deep does that ground go before it just becomes everyone's ground? Move the Jews out to Baja. They've got a big old stretch of desert there. Let them set up camp in Baja. Let the Palestinians take over that old area. There's no more fighting. You put the Jews in Baja, they get the Mexican economy right back on its feet. Everyone's happy.
Kosher tacos, kosher tamales.
Nobody bothers the Jews.
But that beautiful Baja surf and everything, it would interfere with our suffering, Adam.
I know. It's too nice. It doesn't rain enough over there, and there's not enough automatic gunfire going. I'm telling you, move the Jews to Baja, get the Mexican economy back on its feet. The Jews got their own land. Everything's good.
Jalapeno chicken soup. Jews in Baja.
Camel races.
Enchiladas. David?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 17. What's up?
Adam, big fan.
Thank you. You're with me on Move the Jews to Baja, right?
Yeah, I'm an Orthodox Jew. I wouldn't mind Baja.
It's beautiful and it's good surf over there.
Are there a lot of Orthodox Jews who listen to this show?
Oh, you'd be surprised, Rabbi.
And do they have
Rabbi.
the same problems as the non-Jewish youth or the less religious youth?
No, their parents would kill them.
No.
What's up, David?
Questions for the Rabbi.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Jewish Orthodox teenagers? I'm an Orthodox teenager having premarital sex, and don't you believe that your entire conversation tonight is a Chil Hashem?
Well, let me explain something. There is a natural progression in every relationship. And the progression should be that physical attraction, which is what initially brings the two genders together, should lead to conversation, verbal communication, which is the second step of a relationship. That's meant to lead to the third step, which is emotional intimacy. And that's supposed to culminate in physical intimacy. Physical intimacy, biblically, is a very beautiful concept. It's about emotion, which brings forth even stronger emotions. When you get the whole thing out of whack, you asked me about premarital sex. When physical attraction leads to physical intimacy, without emotional intimacy, and without any kind of verbal communication, you commoditize a person. You make them into an object which you use for your own sensual satisfaction, your own pleasure. And that means that you never get to know the person. I mean, very beautifully, the Bible has no word for sex. The word is knowledge. You actually come to know someone because in sex, you actually remove all your defenses. All the inhibition goes away. And your innermost self breathes forth. And that rarely happens today. What I see is that people, they have sex and they don't know each other. And they're very very confused about relationships, they come to guys like me. But then he asked, this is an interesting question. He asked, he used the Hebrew word, is the conversation tonight Chilul Hashem, which means it's a desecration of God's name that I'm participating in this? Let me explain something.
Well, not if he can sell some product.
Exactly, make an honest buck. Let me explain something.
If God's Jewish, he'll understand.
We have a choice, right? Choice is we can just leave the world the way it is, and people can continue. The divorce rate can spiral at 63% now. It can go up to 80%. We can leave 15-year-old kids having sex without any idea of what love really is. We can worry only about giving them condoms to ensure they don't die physically, and never worry about their emotional death. Never worry that their hearts are like pieces of china dropped on the ground 20 times. You glue them back together, but all the cracks are showing, and people go into and not participate in conversations like these. But, on the contrary, for goodness sake, whoever said that religion should only talk about prayer and charity and going to church? Religion has a valuable contribution to make to love specifically. There are 24 books of the Bible, and by far, the holiest, according to the ancient rabbis, is a book called Song of Songs, written by King Solomon. It's one erotic love poem. It speaks about the love between a man and a woman, which is a metaphor between the love of God and man. Love is a beautiful concept, and I fear that people don't even really, talk about it enough. I love watching LoveLines, by the way, on MTV. I watch you guys all the time. You're funny, you're witty, and you give great information. But how often do people call up and talk about love? I want to get people to believe in love, and sex is great, but it's great specifically when there is an emotional component, because that's what adds the passion. When it's a physiological component, it just goes.
I want to say, and for that comment, I was a fan of Seinfeld. I'm thinking of a Jewish show I could pay my respects to the rabbi with. But listen, Rabbi, and here's what I love about the Jews. They don't have to breathe while they're talking. Jew can go on for 45 minutes without breathing. He just takes one big breath at home, drives over to the...
We have gills at them.
There's some other orifice. They're sucking them. They breathe through their belly button when they're talking.
That was great.
The rabbi just went on for 10 minutes, never took a breath.
I wanted to say that here for 10 years. I couldn't get it out.
But here's the question, and because we got to go to another call. Can you, as an Orthodox Jew, and he's 17 years old, is it okay for him to have sex before marriage, yes or no?
The answer is no. Not for religious reasons even. We're talking about, do you want...
But what if all those things you spoke about were in place except for the bond of marriage?
Okay, let me ask you one question, Adam. You're a radio and a TV host. Can you bring passion to your work without commitment? Have you ever seen anyone be passionate about something they're not committed to? If you're not committed to being in the Army, you're going to be a terrible soldier. If you're not committed to being a mechanic, you're not going to be able to fix a car. If you're not committed to a relationship, you're not going to be able to make love. That's the way I see it.
I've done this job without a contract for a year. I've had passion. I've had commitment. I've done my job. But I had not been a piece of paper that I signed that forced me to do it. I came here because I had passion and I wanted to do it.
You're committed to it.
Thank you.
But paper is not what brings commitment.
That was 2 years ago. Now, if I didn't have a contract, I'd leave right now. I'd throw the mic right through the goddamn window and I'd get my car and
You got here before me. You got here before Bruce. That means you're more committed. But look, you don't...
means I was 5 minutes early. You two idiots got lost.
The commitment of marriage is not the piece of paper. The commitment of marriage is where a guy says to a girl...
I'm making my point, which is you can have all the things that you said were important in a relationship without the marriage, and if you do have that, then is it okay to have sex at that point?
Okay, what you're really saying is I don't need the symbol of marriage as long as my heart is committed. And my response is symbols are incredibly important. For example,
I'm saying the guy's 17 years old.
Yeah.
He meets the woman of his dreams. Maybe he already has met her, and maybe all these things are moving along, but maybe they want to go to college and whatever. Maybe he doesn't want to get married till he's 25
because of his career.
25 years old. And maybe he thinks 19 is too young for marriage. He wants to get married at 25.
I think 19 is too young for
marriage.
He's
a sensible guy. On the other hand, he's realistic. We're living in the, what the hell is it? 2000 already. We're in the millennium. And this guy knows he wants to have sex before he's 25 years old, yet because of school, commitments, work, whatever, he doesn't want to do that. But yet the love and the bond is there. What's wrong with him having sex at 19 or 20?
Well, a lot of things, but one simple thing. When you only have sex with the person that you end up marrying, you're able to close your eyes and you're not haunted by the ghosts of demons past. In other words, studies show 84% of husbands actually think about other women when they make love to their wives. Here you are making love to your wife, and in reality, you're doing a guest appearance on Baywatch. You're Luke Skywalker on Planet of the Nympho Babes, okay?
Well, listen,
and when you're out to... Now the point is this. When you have a lot of sexual partners, and by the way, all statistics show that the more sexual partners you have before marriage, the greater the likelihood of divorce exponentially. That's been substantiated in every sexual survey. But the reasoning everything is simple. You go from subjective attraction to objective attraction. It goes from not is my wife beautiful, am I drawn to her? It's rather how does she compare to the women who've preceded her? That kind of objectivity. Did you ever find a parent who cheated against their kid? Do we have Mr. Jones going to Mikey next door middle of the night saying, Mikey, you're the one I really love. Here's my kid's baseball mitt. Don't tell anybody.
My dad may have done that, but no other parents I'm aware of.
We don't cheat on our kids because we don't compare our kids. We
Right.
cheat on our spouse because we compare them constantly.
This is all a very good point.
And I'm just afraid that when you sleep with a lot of people beforehand, that's why there's so much.
All right, but Rabbi, let me just cut.
But I'm still a realist. I'm still a realist.
All right, and you dropped
Shmuley in the 21st century.
Shmuley, you dropped that wife and the 6 kids for a nice shiksa blonde in a hot second. You know, the thing about the Jews is the blondes.
What's her father worth?
Good-looking blonde. It's their Achilles heel. Oh, they love that. Their mom would go insane if they bring them home, but they love a nice.
You already said what's
shiksa.
their father worth.
All right, listen.
Let's go for real passion.
We have to take some calls here. Sam, I finally found someone who can talk more than I can. Sam is 16 years old.
I need a 30-minute break now just to breathe, so I'm going to hyperventilate outside the studio.
I brought the oxygen tanks.
Sam, what's up?
Hey, Adam.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
I love the Man Show. It's great. We all love it.
Thank you.
Okay. My problem is I had sex for the first time about a month ago. And my mom found out, actually, we were at my aunt's wedding, and my cousins and I were kind of drinking and whatever, and I started talking to my uncle about it. And I believe he told her. And now all the time she won't stop harassing me. I mean, we used to be really close, but lately we haven't been that close. But
You and your mom.
Right.
Are you still dating the girl you had sex with?
No.
So she's not in your life.
Right.
So your mother knows that there's no potential of you at least having sex with this girl because the one you had sex with is not in your life anymore.
Right. I don't know. I mean.
How is she harassing you?
I think she's really upset about it. I mean, I'm glad that she cares, but every morning when I'm exhausted from listening to your show at night and I can't get up for school, all she will stop talking about is, oh, let me ask you this. Do you love her? Do you care about her?
Wow. Is your dad around?
No, he died when I was 7.
Interesting. She never remarried, huh?
No. She hasn't, it's kind of weird. She hasn't even dated. I mean.
Yeah, well, she's got a lot of energy, and you're getting the brunt of it.
Right.
But listen, Sam.
Yeah.
This is nothing for us. We normally have parents who don't care. You have someone who does care.
Right.
It's a pain in your ass.
She's asking some legitimate questions
she cares,
as well. She
yeah.
may overdo it, but.
Hey, Sam, just look her in the eye and say, listen, Mom, I'm sorry I disappointed you. I'm sorry I did this. I have no plans of doing it again. I'm glad it's out in the open. I'm going to kick my Uncle Lou in the nuts, by the way, but I'm glad it's out in the open. But please, it's grating on me. I mean, I'll tell you anything you want to know, and let's talk about it. But then let's finish the conversation. Let's move on with our lives.
She's probably not going to leave you alone until you take responsibility and prove to her that you're somebody she can trust, and that's
all right. Just tell her you made a mistake. You're sorry you disappointed her. You thank her for her interest. Most people don't have that these days.
And if she's a
then
Jewish
move on.
mother, promise her grandchildren she'll leave you alone.
That's right. Emily.
Hi.
Hey, you're 18. What's up?
Well, last night my boyfriend fingered me, and today I'm bleeding.
Uh-huh.
Is basically it.
Mm-hmm. Was he wearing a college ring? No.
No, he was not.
Okay.
Do you have pelvics on a regular basis?
I just had my first pelvic. I went to Planned Parenthood because I've been with him a couple months, and I was thinking about having sex with him, so I went, and that was really painful.
Yeah, okay. Well, basically, this isn't skin in there. You have mucous membranes. This is sensitive tissue. Boyfriend has fingernails and who knows what else. So there may be no abnormality in your tissues. If you have a sexually transmitted disease, if you have inflammation, or you have early changes in your cervical mucosa, like precancerous changes, the things you get a pap smear for, all those things will bleed more easily.
All right,
normal tissue, if you have too rigorous fingering, whatever, sharp fingernails, then you will have bleeding with no abnormality there. But you should, if you've had bleeding after that trauma, it is a trauma, you should go in and have a pelvic exam, have somebody check you out.
We're going to take ourselves a little break. When we come back, we'll speak to Don, who's paralyzed from the waist down. He wants to know how to explain the size and dysfunction of his penis to the ladies. We'll speak to Don about that after this.
Yo, LoveLine will be right back, homie.
Honey, I took a first response pregnancy test. Jenny's getting a brother or sister.
Great, but you're only a day late.
It works that soon.
First Response. So advanced it can be used as soon as the first day of your missed period. No at-home tests work sooner, and it's over 99% accurate in lab tests. Use as directed. See your doctor as recommended.
Jenny, you're gonna have a baby to play with.
Where is it?
Growing in Mommy's tummy.
Better get it out now.
Why?
There's no room in there.
First Response. Nobody tells you sooner.
Did you pack underwear?
Check.
What about socks?
Check.
Vibrator?
Check. It's for my back.
Of course it is.
While you're listening to the best new music on the net at firstlook.com, enter the Your World Tour sweepstakes. You could win a trip for 2 to New York, London, and Sydney to see 3 concerts of your choice. We'll give you plane tickets, hotel rooms, and spending money. All you have to do is decide what you're going to pack. Enter to win the Your World Tour sweepstakes and listen to the latest music online at firstlook.com.
Hi, I'm Serenity, and these are my friends, Missy and Stephanie.
You know, a lot of things happen to us every day that we have no control over.
But HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases aren't things that just happen to you. You do have a choice. You can choose to use a condom, have safe sex, and take control of your life.
Asking for a condom isn't stupid. It's smart. It shows that you care about yourself and your partner.
You can do something about sexually transmitted diseases. Use a condom.
Every partner.
Every time.
We do.
A message brought to you by Wicked Pictures and AIDS Project Los Angeles.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool. Join the crowd. Have a drink even though you're not 21.
Let's go. She's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Somewhere in our community is a mother whose drug abuse once left her unable to care for her kids. There's a father, too, whose alcohol use drove his wife and children away. There's a boyfriend whose drug use frightened his girlfriend into giving him an ultimatum: get help or I'm gone. Help is available. It's in the form of treatment programs for drug abuse and alcohol problems, and the good news is that these programs are making a big difference in people's lives. With proper treatment, mothers and fathers, sweethearts and coworkers, friends and neighbors are overcoming drug and alcohol problems and reclaiming their lives. Isn't it great that treatment works? To find out about drug and alcohol treatment programs that can help, call 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-HELP. There is help, and it works. A public service of this station and the Center for Substance Abuse Treatment.
Dad, I don't think our campfire's totally out.
Are you kidding me? I know when a campfire's out.
Did you drown the fire with water and stir it with a stick?
No, it's out. We don't have to... Who said that?
Frank, it's a talking moose with sunglasses.
And a bunch of singing and dancing forest animals.
We know we can count on you to do what Smokey says.
And when your folks desire to build a fire,
Hot, hot.
clear brush and branches away, and keep water nearby like you oughta.
Okay, I poured water on the fire. I stirred it with a stick. Everybody walked slowly toward the RV.
Dad, these are just Smokey's friends.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Frank, it's Smokey.
Nice hat, Smokey. Want the rest of my peanut butter sandwich?
Dad!
Visit Smokey at www.smokeybear.com. Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, the National Association of State Foresters, and the Ad Council.
It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Bruce. Dr. Bruce filling in for Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Our guest tonight, Rabbi Shmuley Boteach. And he's the author of Kosher Sex and Dating Secrets of the Ten Commandments. and is a very, very wise man. And he's chiming in tonight and coming at it from a little bit of orthodox.
Good old
angle,
Stone Age.
but
primitive.
You know, well, listen, all of that stuff, all that 10 Commandments and all that stuff, it's really it falls under no duh to me. It's like thou shall not kill. You know, makes perfect sense. But and I
wait. There's different
agree.
kinds of killing. What if you kill people? What if you crush someone's spirit? In a relationship, what if you kill someone's individuality? You know how many people go into relationships and try to mold the person according to their wishes? You know, husbands who force their wives to become just like them. That's a form of murder. Or when you use words to undermine people's self-confidence. You can't be a literalist about this stuff. Or like, do not steal. It doesn't mean don't steal my watch or my car. It means don't steal my heart. Don't tell me you love me just to go to bed with me.
I'm with you. I'm with you on all this stuff. I really am. I'm an atheist, but I wish everyone would just go by the 10 Commandments. We'd be living in some form of utopia here.
Nah.
We really would. Yes, we would.
Utopia's unrealistic.
Don?
This is not unrealistic stuff.
All right, calm down over
It's
there.
getting really philosophical over
Don
here.
is 29. Don, you're paralyzed?
Yes, I am.
How did you become paralyzed?
I was born with spina bifida.
Mm-hmm. And so you're paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah.
And how does that affect you sexually?
I can't have an erection or anything unless I take medication for it.
What kind of medication do you take?
Well, the doctors, they prescribed Viagra. But before that, I was taking insulin shots to help with the erections.
Where do you take the shot?
On the side of it.
Side of the penis?
Yeah.
And does the penis have any sensation?
No. None whatsoever.
And that could be good news on certain occasions, like if it got caught in a fly or when you're getting the shot.
Yeah.
But the Viagra works, huh?
I've never tried the Viagra yet.
Well, I thought you said they prescribed it to
the Viagra, but I haven't tried it yet because the other stuff that I was using, the insulin, I was using it about 2 years. I just got out of a relationship about 2 years ago, and I had a feeling it's because of my disability, because she wasn't comfortable with it, and now I have this thing where.
Hold on, she met you when you were in the wheelchair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long were you together?
Oh, about 2 years.
All right, she met you in a wheelchair. She stayed with you for 2 years. I mean, a lot of relationships end anyway. It has nothing to do with the disability. I mean, I know you're going to chalk this up to the disability, but I don't think it gets you anywhere to think that way. And what about the rest of us who've been in and out of relationships who aren't in a wheelchair? What do we attribute it to? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Don, you know, there's two kinds of disabilities. There's physical disabilities, there's emotional disabilities. I think women actually prefer the guys who may not be physically perfect, but who are emotionally healthy. You sound like an emotionally healthy guy. You're brave enough to call and speak about your disability on the air, and don't allow your self-confidence to be snuffed out by your physical disability. What women really love is a guy who makes them feel cherished, loved, admired, who makes them into the sun, and you become the planet that revolves around them. And if you can bestow that upon a woman, you're going to be a romantic who they're going to love. All the guys who I meet, the big jocks and everything, top students at universities who are so full of themselves and arrogant, who go on a date, and all their conversation is basically, you know, me, and she says I, and they slip into a deep coma. They're the ones who have this emotional disability. So everybody's got their challenges, and you have yours, but yours is not in any way fatal in a relationship.
Listen, I agree with the rabbi. Everyone who's good looking is an emotional cripple.
Yeah.
I'm totally with it.
It's true.
So Don,
these genetic celebrities.
Did you talk about it with the gal you're in a relationship with? Were you unable to really discuss it openly with her? Was it too embarrassing?
Well, with the first real relationship I was in, I was kind of drunk, and so it was easy for me to tell her.
Uh-huh.
But now it's like, you know,
Are you a recovering alcoholic, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to meetings and.
Oh, well, I was.
Hey.
I'm going to be going back into meetings here.
Hey, Don.
Mm-hmm.
So your real question is how to explain your penis to a new partner.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, but here's what I'm saying. Thank God, I'll tell you, much better to be a man in a wheelchair than a woman in a wheelchair, because women, as the rabbi astutely brought up, are much more forgiving this way. They're more into the mental aspect of the relationship, and if you can provide that, you can do it from a sitting down position. They'll still be happy. Furthermore, if you have a woman who's open-minded enough to go out with a guy who's in a wheelchair, I'm sure she expects or suspects that there's something going on down there.
Down under, right.
And is probably okay with that, or you wouldn't have gotten the first date with her.
She might even, paradoxically, she might even be more attracted to you because women want to feel, like anyone, they want to feel necessary. And sometimes your disability makes her feel like she has a real place. She has a phenomenal contribution to make. I mean, a lot of these guys that come across as perfect and I don't need you, like, where do I fit in is her question.
But
one of the issues that's why you should never get a motorized wheelchair because the chick's out of a job. I agree with the rabbi. All right, let's keep moving here. Michael?
Yeah.
You're 17?
Yeah. Well, basically my question is for the rabbi. My parents divorced when I was 3, and my mom and her whole side is very conservative Jew and everything, and I like to think that I am too. I mean, I go to an all-Jewish private school and everything.
Horrible football team, but
we don't have a football
great
team.
speech
We
and debate
we
department.
only ever had flag football teams in the Jewish schools,
No, we didn't. So I was just talking to my dad the other day, and we don't see each other that often, but I was talking to him about marriage and relationships and stuff, and I mentioned something about how I definitely wanted to be with somebody Jewish, and he got kind of upset at me at that and almost like tried to change my mind in a way and said that, love has no religion and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to know what you thought about that.
How about that, Rabbi?
Well, look, I mean, to say that love is not based on some practical considerations, unfortunately, is just not so. I believe in love very much, but I also believe that there has to be, and I believe that attraction, by the way, is more important than compatibility, and by that I mean holistic attraction, not just physical attraction. Having said that, I think that you have to be able to connect on the deepest possible level, and the fact is that people's identity, people's ethnicity, people's religious identity is very important to them. What I see is with a lot of intermarried couples who fall in love, they have these great relationships, and then suddenly when they have kids, and both of them sort of return to their roots slightly, a lot of conflict arises because you wonder how to raise the children. I even remember one guy in Oxford called me up and he said to me he had a big fight with his wife because he's Jewish and she's not, and on the radio that morning they announced that 16 Israeli soldiers had been blown to smithereens on a bus, and she turned to him and said, "Do you want butter on your toast?" And he said, "How could you be so insensitive?" And she said, "Well, when you hear that Bangladeshis die in a monsoon, do you care?" And I said to him, she's right to an extent. You're saying these are my people, I care, and she's saying, well, don't fault me for not feeling that same bit of empathy. So there are a lot of complications, and I think first and foremost Jews should seek to marry other Jewish people, and especially in a generation where, this century we've lost 6 million Jews through a terrible Holocaust, and we have to seek to strengthen our people. Having said that, people can choose to become Jewish, obviously.
Yeah.
They can convert. We're not an exclusive religion, and if they love the religion, love the way of life, they can become very, Jewish, and they're as Jewish as Moses were.
Well, the whole conversion thing, I've known a few couples where one or the other is converted, and it always to me smacks of someone who really doesn't really want to do it when it comes to the marriage, but they figure let's not piss off the grandparents.
Yeah, it is often that, and the will. You're going to be cut out of the will.
Isn't there a more militant feeling about women, Jewish women marrying non-Jews, or is that not true? I ran into it.
No, I think actually it's more militant with Jewish guys because, I mean, Adam made this point about Jewish men being attracted to the blonde-haired Scandinavian types.
Sure.
And it does exist, okay?
That's what my father did.
That's what your father did.
Hey, but Rabbi, is it the faith of the woman in the Jewish marriage that
that's transmitted to the kids? That's right. Yeah, Judaism is a matriarchal religion, so your mother's religion is going to determine the kid's religion. So that's why it's not as militant.
I'll tell you, I don't know what Wuss came up with that plan way back when, but that seemed like a big mistake. Let's let the chicks be in charge of the religion. That was a huge. They really dropped the ball.
Oh, come on, the men get to hold the remote and determine what what channel you're going to watch, and the women get the religion. We get the important stuff.
Back then, the remote was made of wood. It didn't even work.
You can't track the men though.
Oh my God! Talk about being whipped. Talk about a religion where you're whipped. You let the chicks be in charge. That's it. All right. So you can.
The
convert,
guys
fix
wanted
anything.
the women to look after the kids.
Listen, you get yourself a nice blonde. You get her to convert. Eric.
Yes.
Convert properly.
You're 20. Yeah, that's right. Should take at least 3 days. Boy, I love it. They're up there reading from the Torah. They don't even know what they're talking about. They're thinking to myself, Jesus, we got.
Well, a lot of them do take it seriously, but yeah, it lends itself to abuse.
How fast
obviously.
How fast is it? First off, as a rabbi, are you able to convert me?
No, because you have to go to a Jewish court, and it's a group of rabbis that have to do it.
All right.
But Adam, for you, for special dispensation, you've got a sense of humor that makes you half Jewish already.
That's right. And look at the nappy hair. Look at the nappy.
Definitely a Jew. And that hypochondriac streak. That's definitely Jewish. The whining, the complaining, you're dying, the bump, the
right.
this.
But Jews and Italians, they share that sort of let's suffer together type thing.
All right, so you think I could? Here's what I'd like to do, and if you could do this, it'd be great. You know how?
Are you circumcised?
Yes. You know
okay,
how?
Well, we can do it right now.
You know how, like every 6 months, some college gives Bill Cosby an honorary degree, not because he went to the college or anything, but because he's Bill Cosby. This is what I'd like. I'd like to be an honorary Jew, not because I graduated from the Jewish school or I met with the rabbis or the tribunal of rabbis or anything, but I'm a big-time radio host, you get me over on your Jewish side. And I can flash a Jewish card if I ever get into trouble.
Don't buy it. He wants chicks. It's something to get chicks. That's what it's all about.
Okay.
The rabbi doesn't buy your...
No, I'm game. I'm game.
Okay. I just for
you got to buy 100 copies of kosher sex.
Quick turnaround.
And you got to practice.
Version.
But if you become Jewish, you have to practice kosher sex.
All right, but I can't.
12-day period of sexual abstention in every relationship.
I'm not down with the
no masturbation.
That's where I get off the Jewish boat right there.
He's probably done it while we're sitting here. You just don't. He's undercover.
Samantha. Oh, wait a minute. Where the hell was I there?
I was
Samantha.
wondering what that nervous twitch was exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Samantha, you're 15.
Yeah.
What's up?
I have this problem. When I have sex with my boyfriend, I'm not able to reach an orgasm at all, and the only time I feel like I'm going to reach any kind of climax is when sex is really aggressive and hard.
Mm-hmm. And he's being rough with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was anyone ever rough with you before?
No.
No. Where's your dad?
They're divorced.
They're divorced. Do you see him?
Yeah, I see him all the time.
Is he a good guy?
Mm-hmm.
So nobody drank?
No. My dad drinks, but he doesn't drink around us.
Right, but he still could be an alcoholic, right?
Where's my bourbon?
And, yeah?
A little bit, yeah.
All right.
Samantha, do you love your boyfriend?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, one of the main reasons women can't orgasm is that they're frigid, that they feel uncomfortable, they're anxious. Is that the case with you? And if you love him, then why is that? Maybe do you feel like maybe you're doing something that, you don't feel comfortable with? Was this, in other words, this sex, is it his idea or your idea, or both?
Mine.
It's your idea, the sex.
Yeah.
Are you using it as a way of growing closer to your boyfriend, or is it the physical pleasure side of it? Do you think that you'll actually cement the relationship by having sex with him? Is it like the royal road to intimacy?
No. At first, when I first met him, it was just because he was, when I first met him, he was the most popular guy at school, and he was it was just oh my gosh, you were with him and everything. So
it was an uneven relationship. He was the most popular and you weren't.
Yeah.
Did you have to compensate by giving yourself to him in order to win him over?
Oh no, I was popular too, but it was just that he was just he was the cutest guy at school, and at first he just started talking to me. I didn't even like him at all, but then I just felt
Hold on a second. First off, let me just tell the rabbi, do not try to float theories with our callers. They will deny every single one of them. So, but you don't know that. You're trying to use logic.
No.
Samantha, listen to me. Here's what's going on. You're 15. Your things aren't biologically or emotionally set up for you to have orgasms just yet. We talk to women all night long that don't have one at 19 and magically have one when they're 27 or 28.
When they feel more comfortable.
Yeah,
as well.
you're a little young to be having sex.
How do you feel about that statement?
Well, yeah, I agree with that too.
So
okay, and the fact that you need to be roughed up a little during the sexual act means that you have a serious problem with intimacy, and it probably stems from your dad abandoning you or the sense of abandonment you had from your father when you were young, leaving the family, perhaps some of the alcoholism and that kind of thing. All right?
My dad didn't leave till I was in the 8th grade.
All right, but he was probably checked out a little bit, wouldn't you say, because of the drinking?
Yeah, Adam's saying that. I mean, don't you feel that? And don't agree with me because I'm saying this. Do you feel that perhaps you really are very dependent on this male figure in your life, your boyfriend, and maybe too dependent, and doing things too early because you really want to have this strong masculine figure in your life? Is that possible?
Yeah.
How does it feel if we tell you, gee, we really don't feel like you should be having sex, and for your own good,
And maybe later, if you wait, you'll actually enjoy it because you'll feel comfortable about it. Do you know that 1 out of 3 women in the United States fakes orgasms regularly because they're in situations like you? They don't have them, but they expect that their boyfriends want to know that I'm enjoying it. You're sending me careening to the rafters of the ceiling. Here I go to the moon and back, and they fake it. Now,
God
can you
bless
imagine?
them is what I have to say. I wish it was a higher percentage. I really do.
But we may
Why
as well
haven't I met any of those ones that fake it?
She may as well expect to deliver a calf every time she has sex as have an orgasm. It's really, she's not. First of all, she's not wired for it. Hey, this Anderson's
Where'd
right.
that calf come from?
But really, the point I'm trying to make is at 15, she's not wired for it. Biologically, and I wonder how she. I asked her, "How do you feel about having the support not to do it?"
Listen, we're not going to talk her out of anything.
No. But
all right, stop having sex.
No. That's not what we're doing.
Yes, that's what.
No. We love sex. You should
No.
enjoy sex. Do it when you enjoy it by feeling good about yourself and letting go. Sex is about putting yourself on autopilot. And frigidity, when you're sitting there consciously wondering, is it right? Is it wrong? Do I look good? That's when it can't happen because it's intuitive.
Shut up.
Can't ask her.
Listen, goofball. I can't spend 10 minutes a call as much as you'd like to dedicate 10 minutes. Hey, forget it.
Shut up, damn it!
We're going to take a little break. We have the rabbi here and Dr. Bruce, who
I think Bruce is a rabbi.
I wish he would have shown up at all.
I bet your beard grows on the inside.
Absolutely. This man has great wisdom.
It's strangling his brain. We'll be back after this.
Once again with it.
LoveLine. LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. We'll be right back before you know it.
This is a story about American heroes. They changed quite a few lives last year. Jorge Vasquez put out fires, but no, he's not a firefighter. Philip Dale discovered several new stars. Oh, he's not an astronomer. And Elaine Capobianco, she saved a child from drowning, but she's not a lifeguard. They're teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
I'm a teacher. The children are the heroes.
We're not just teaching subject matter, we're teaching human beings.
I am tough as nails, but they know that I love them.
I mean, we've got a legacy that follows behind us forever.
Teachers have the power to make an impact on our future. California will need about 250,000 more of them in the next 10 years. Reach for that power. Teach. Call 1-888-CAL-TEACH now. A public service message brought to you by CalTeach, the Ad Council, and this station.
Okay, so I'm a teenager, right? And everyone's so quick to judge me. On the outside, I may look like... but on the inside, I'm all... Just because I look like... doesn't mean I act that way. In fact, I'm actually involved in crime prevention. That sounds more like this. It's really a great way to convince adults that while you may be looking, you're really thinking.
Call 1-800-722-TEENS to find out how to make your community a safer place for everyone. Get involved, get the number, and call 1-800-722-TEENS. A public service message from the Crime Prevention Coalition of America, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the Ad Council.
Evening, folks. I'm Vince.
And I'm Larry. We're the crash test dummies.
We'd like to entertain you with a little song. Only one thing.
We can't sing, but we're here with someone who can, with a song for the little ones. Ray?
Mr. Charles?
On the big highway of life, there's only one safe place for kids.
Backseat, baby.
The front seat's not the place to drive out. Put that booties in the backseat.
Backseat, baby.
Airbags and kids should never meet. I'm here to remind you to put them behind you.
Raymundo, do you mind if we try?
Oh, look at here.
Backseat, baby, better buckled in the back.
Backseat, baby.
Baby faces stay intact.
Larry, yo, Larry, maybe you should keep your day job.
Ow, that hurts.
Not as much as our day job.
Backseat, baby. To stay alive even when I drive.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your kids in the back seat. A message from the Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Dear Jim, I just wanted to tell you the things I love so much about you.
Like your pasty white belly and how it fits in those tight shirts that my friends think you shouldn't be wearing. I love how you do that thing where you mash 4 slices of bread into a massive ball of dough and stuff it in your mouth. That's so adorable. And what about when you tell those same jokes from reruns that you've seen over and over again? They make me laugh every single time. Other guys play sports or go running or do something outside, but not you. You're different.
Guys, rest assured you will never in your life meet a girl like this.
P.S. I can't wait until we cuddle in front of pro wrestling all day this Saturday. I hear it's a steel cage Texas death match.
Get some exercise. Get up. Get out. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council and the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports.
All right, it is LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Bruce over there. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach is here. He's the author of Kosher Sex and Dating Secrets of the Ten Commandments. I'm being tag teamed by the moralist over here tonight.
Rabbi Dr. Bruce.
But I'm
Rabbi Dr. Bruce.
I'm trying to fight the good
You're holding your own.
atheist fight.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I'll be holding my own in about a half hour when I get home too. Maybe doing more than just holding. Although sometimes my penis just needs to be held. I've found out too. And
don't look at me.
All right.
I didn't know you were such a tender guy, actually.
I
thought
really
it was
am.
only the rough side.
Meat tenderizer. That's
I love schlong. There you go. Schlong is my Jewish name.
Short schlong.
Schlongma. All right. We are going to.
You know
yes.
that in Yiddish it means infinitesimal. Just thought I'd enlighten you about that.
Schlong does.
That's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
We are going to see if we can't power through a couple of calls here before we wrap it up tonight. Eric, you're 20.
Yes.
I'm going to see if I can pace this up a little. You don't think your dad is your biological father.
Exactly.
Why? Why is that?
Well, my sister, I have an older sister. My mother was married twice. And I have an older sister that when she was pregnant with me, had heard my mother on the phone say she was pregnant, and she was threatened not to tell.
Okay. What good, though, does it do you to investigate this? Is your father in your life?
Well, not right now. He was there my whole life, and he was really good, and he did everything for me.
All right. So that makes him your father. You owe him that respect.
I completely agree. This is one of those don't ask, don't tell things. You probably have so many other anxieties, worries in your life. I'd focus on them. Don't create more. Life is complicated enough.
It becomes a distraction. People do this all the time. I want to find my biological mother. I want to know her. I want to look in her eyes. She lives in some flop house somewhere. You find her. You're horribly disappointed, and it doesn't fill the void that's in you.
If you develop leukemia and you need some bone marrow cells, then check it out.
Right. Michelle, spoken like a true doctor. You're 16?
Yeah.
You want to know if it's possible to get pregnant if the guy ejaculates in the same hot tub she's in? Hey, do you take health at school?
I did last year.
You did. Did you have a male or female teacher?
Male.
Male. Could you do me a favor and kick him in the nuts next time you see him? There the C's. He's somebody dropped the ball.
Yeah, Michelle, do you consider yourself very much aware and knowledgeable about sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you read on the subject? Do you try to inform yourself? I mean, it's a really serious subject. It's the kind of thing which is basically it's the most intense thing known to man. It's the kind of thing that's going to really give you intensity and passion in your life. So you have to be very informed about it, right?
Hey, Michelle.
Yeah.
You got that little girl voice that always worries me. Anything up with you?
Nothing.
No,
when you're never molested, no boundary problems when you're a kid, people doing things they shouldn't to you?
Boundary problems?
Yeah. Anyone do anything bad to you? Rape
No.
you? Molest you?
No.
Nothing like that?
No.
Okay, good. You can't get pregnant unless, and I've checked this out, the tub is at
Correct
least
temperature.
65% semen, which after a good party, my tub has gotten up to the 83% semen level. But there has to be more semen in there than water is basically how it is. So if it's let's say a 250-gallon tub, have to be at least 125, 130 gallons of semen in there in order. And even then, you may not be ovulating.
They swim. It makes me nervous.
Sarah?
Yeah.
You're 18.
Yes, I am.
You want to know how to commit to a relation? Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, you want to know about a relationship?
Yeah, my father was abusive to my mom, verbally, physically. He was also an alcoholic and a drug addict.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never committed to a relationship.
Yeah.
I really have like a cynical view on men.
Yes.
And I was just wondering how I could really get past that. I've been to like therapists.
Yeah, you got to keep going.
You know, there was a famous doctor in Oxford. He became famous because he was the first person to compile the dictionary. His name was Dr. Samuel Johnson, and he once said that marriage is the triumph of hope over experience. That's why you have faith. And I don't just mean if you're not religious. I mean, Adam here tells me he's an atheist, but he has faith that tomorrow the sun's going to rise. The fact is that if you look at history, there's only been wars. It's been a pretty horrible world, and all of us still believe we can give our children a better life. You have to have faith, have hope. The fact is, there are plenty of people around you who are in love. There are plenty of parents who raise their children without scarring them. There are plenty of people who give charity, and they do it with a heartfelt devotion, and they're altruistic. Focus on the good. Sure, you can find individual. I'm like you. My parents divorced when I was 8, and it could have gone either way. Children of divorce have a 50% higher rate of divorce themselves. I could have been cynical, or I could have said to myself, that ain't gonna happen to me. So far, I've chosen the latter, and I hope that will continue.
But listen, all the faith in the world is not going to erase the emotional scarring of this alcoholic, abusive father. And it's faith mixed with some practical therapy and reading and all that. It's going to be great.
Therapy's not a passive thing, so who knows what she did.
And you saying I tried it a couple times, it didn't work is ridiculous.
You have to work
it's an
at
ongoing thing, especially
and finding a trustworthy guy, somebody that's going to hope with you.
That's right. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll be back.
Once again with it.
LoveLine. LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. We'll be right back before you know it.
These are the sounds of today's kids. And these are the voices of today's kids.
Don't underestimate me. I can work harder in school.
Give me a problem that's hard to solve.
Give me tougher work. Give me tougher books. When I solve a tough problem, I'm on top of the world.
Surprised? Don't be. 74% of kids say school should only pass them to the next grade when they've learned what's expected of them.
I'm not afraid to fail.
If I make a mistake, I'll do better next time.
75% of kids say they'd study harder if their schools gave them tougher tests. The fact is, almost all kids want to be challenged in school. So listen to the voices of kids today.
Challenge me.
Challenge me. Challenge me.
Do your part. Support higher academic achievement in your state and challenge our schools to challenge our kids. For a free booklet, call 1-800-38-BE-SMART. A message from the Ad Council and the Education Excellence Partnership.
Taking all that work home?
No, this is my own stuff. I've got a date with a financial planner.
You're only 25. Why are you planning for retirement already?
Hey, I want to be able to choose when I retire and know that I'll be financially secure when I do.
I've heard lots of people call themselves financial planners, but aren't they really trying to get you to invest in their favorite fund? Like they're selling size 20 shoes so everyone gets a hello Bigfoot.
Half this stuff is my bank statements, company insurance policies, tax returns. The planner's going to know a lot about me before recommending anything. The rest is background information I've collected on her and 2 other planners. If she passes tonight's round, she gets my papers.
Securing your financial future is important. You have a right to expect financial advice that's competent, ethical, and based on your needs. To verify that a planner is certified, call toll-free 888-CFP-MARK. A public service of the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards.
Hey, driving fans! It may have happened to you. You may have heard the roar of the rumble strips, the blast of car and truck horns, and the heart-pounding fear of a near miss. Avoid all the dangerous crash action that comes with falling asleep at the wheel. Experience the amazing power nap. You've never seen power like this before. The Power Nap. Find out what the professional drivers have been doing for years. The Power Nap gives you the energy you need for the road ahead, and it's free. Whether you're driving to the shore with your family, to another city to meet a client, to school across the state, or anywhere there's action. The Power Nap is your ticket to revitalization. Experience the Power Nap at a rest stop near you. Just pull in, find a safe, well-lighted spot to park, turn off the key, and close your eyes. In just 20 to 30 minutes, you'll have the energy you need to drive safely for miles. So don't push it, park it, and feel the power more of the power. Now. A wake-up call to all drivers from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the American Trucking Association.
It's nearly 6 a.m. and we're at a rest stop talking to travelers. Excuse me?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of circadian rhythms?
It's like a Latin band, right?
Not quite. Do you know what circadian rhythms are?
It's when the stars all align and their energy creates...
No. How about you, sir? Huh? Circadian rhythms. Exactly. Circadian rhythms tell your body when it should be sleeping as well as when it should be awake.
Huh?
Circadian rhythms are part of our body's internal controls, a kind of built-in clock that tells us when to wake up and when to go to sleep each day. Imagine the danger that comes when we try to drive when our body thinks we should be sleeping, especially at night, early morning, and for many people, mid-afternoon. You really should try to avoid driving during your body's down times. If you have to drive when you'd normally be sleeping and you find yourself getting drowsy, stop for a refreshing 20 to 30-minute nap. Now what would you say when I say circadian rhythms?
I'd say, don't push it, park it.
Right.
A wake-up call from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the American Trucking Associations.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool, join the crowd, have a drink even though you're not 21.
Let's go, she's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
David.
Yes.
Joe Namath, man.
The Joe Namath?
That's right. Now, I've heard you're a good fan.
I try to be.
When you go to the games, you wear jerseys?
Of course. It would be rude not to go with the jersey on.
Whose jersey do you go in?
I
you have a number 12.
I had a number 12.
Did you see that, man? You know that the number 12 is registered to me.
I will absolutely buy a number 12.
Nah, man.
NFL Shop on NFL.com is the place for all your authentic NFL apparel, including customized champion jerseys. Personalize your own NFL jersey at NFL Shop on NFL.com.
All right, that is it for the show. Another fast show, which means hopefully a stimulating one. I want to thank Rabbi Shmuley for coming in and being stimulating as all hell. I really think he could go another hour or two on this show. Kosher sex and dating secrets of the 10 Commandments. Go out and get it, be you Jew or Gentile. I think there's something to get from that book. The rabbi's obviously a very wise man, and we do appreciate having you.
Thank you very much. And because of your beautiful comment, we're going to give the Gentiles the same price as the Jews on this one. 15% off. And Adam, you are now an honorary Jew. Okay?
Thank you.
We're going to, the United Jewish Appeal by tomorrow morning.
You know what I love about the Jews, by the way, when it comes to the contributions? I was just talking about this the other night. I listened to the radio. Turn that idiot down, would you please? Adam Sandler, you're such a terrible idiot. Now listen, I swear to God, I listen to the radio. I hear the Gentiles are like, listen, could you please give to the Catholic Relief Fund a can of garbanzo beans, even if it has a dent in it, even if the label's ripped off, we'll take anything. The Jews come on for the Jewish Relief. They're like, hey, drop the car off.
Yeah, right.
Jews are like, we're not going to mess
what
with
about that rock you gave your wife under the, that's right.
Jews would go right for it. They say, listen.
Gulfstream 4, we needed to bring immigrants to Israel.
We don't want a can of 3-bean soup. We want your goddamn car. Drop the car off. All right, we're going to take an extended break. I want to thank Dr. Bruce for doing a great job. And until next time, this is Adam Kroll for Dr. Bruce saying mahalo.
Put on your yarmulke. It's time for Hanukkah.
Well, now. This has been LoveLine. The stuff expressed on LoveLine is not necessarily the stuff of the staff, management, sponsors, or anyone else, including Westwood One Entertainment. LoveLine is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingold. Now, please enjoy these birds.